station. I'm older and wiser, maybe I lost track of time. I'm still young enough to hate you, Caroline. Caroline, you drive me crazy, oh, but I don't mind. Here's what I'm saying: you can love me and leave me and then take me out with the trash. When I say I've been there, I'm buying through my teeth, you know. It's a ballpark estimation. Same train, different station. You're older and wiser, maybe you lost track of time. You're still young enough to get me, Caroline. Woo! Caroline, you drive me crazy, oh, but I don't mind. Here's what I'm saying: you can love me and leave me and then take me out with the trash. La 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 why, oh, why you still wear my vices when you sleep? There are no secrets I can't keep. I'm older and wiser, maybe I lost track of time. I'm still young enough to need you, Caroline. Caroline, you drive me crazy, oh, but I don't mind. Here's what I'm saying: you can love me and leave me and then take me out with the trash.
Redux is also cute. Oh whoa.
Renewed voor Season 2 GGEPOG.
I'm older and wiser, and maybe I lost track of time. Why can't we grow out of each other, Caroline? Last night we danced until our feet got blisters. I rocked that crop top that you got from your sister. You held my hand so sweet and casually. I'd never gone from stop to start so quickly. And our bodies shake like ooh, ooh, ooh. Electrical waves like ooh, ooh, ooh. We're gonna do it all again. Gonna sell myself, gonna show my skin. Woo-hoo, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna do it all again. Gonna sell myself, gonna show my skin. And we're gonna be alright. We're flashing neon animals tonight. Flashback, 11th Street with the bar lights blinking. I swear we turned back with a look and a winking. Some nights we play like we got all the time in the world. Put our war paint on, sing a fighting song. Think of something to say like ooh, ooh, ooh. Electrical waves like ooh, ooh, ooh. We're gonna do it all again. Gonna sell myself, gonna show my skin. Woo-hoo, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna do it all again. Gonna sell myself, gonna show my skin. And we're gonna be alright. We're flashing neon animals tonight. my skin. Woo, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna do it all again. Gonna sell myself, gonna show my skin. And we're gonna be alright with flashing neon animals tonight.
Yeah, we're just
Such a banger.
vibing to
Holy
Redux
shit.
music. And
Hello.
Hopefully,
We're
yeah, I don't
vibing
start
to.
talking.
Wait.
Shit.
Holy shit. That's awkward. That's awkward.
What the fuck is?
That was that was awkward. Anyway, hello. That's so funny. I didn't realize my weed stream would start on volume. That is so funny. What a great start of this. Let's go here. Hello. Hello. What is my hair doing? Holy shit. How are we doing today? That's so stupid. Fuck's sake. Fuck you, Wheat. Fuck you. I hope you're listening. I hope you're still listening. How are we doing? Should I point my camera down a bit? Here we go. Here we go. How are we doing? How's the Isaacs and the J Fusions and the everyone's? Are there multiple Isaacs? Yes. Are there multiple J Fusions? Probably not. Probably not. If you know any other J Fusions I should be aware of, please let me know. Please let me know. I need to know. It's very important that I know. I'm more fool than wise. She said to me, oh death. One is enough. It's true. It's true. You are enough, J Fusion. Which in French that means you're an egg. I hope that helps. I know a few Jason. That really confused me. That was very confusing. These are all such bangers, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie, these are all bangers. Oh, death. How are we doing? I'm excited. I haven't streamed in like ages. I don't remember how to stream. But we're back and we're better than ever. So yeah. It's gonna be exciting. Now. I don't remember what I was gonna say. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed me thinking there. We're just gonna do Uncertainly Accurate. There's nothing special today. There's nothing special, so I think we just call Wheat and then we just fucking get on with it, you know? We just get on with it. There's nothing really interesting. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, but we'll talk about that once Wheat gets here. Come close my eyes, whoa, I know I'm a fool and wise. When I heard that song the first time, it instantly made me think of Wise, because he says, I'm more fool than wise, and Wise's name's Wise Fool, so it just reminded me of Wise, which is very, very lovely. Very lovely thing to do. Very lovely thing to do. Anyway, I'm gonna call Wheat. I'm gonna annoy Wheat. See what he's thinking. You can't hear it, but it's calling. Do 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 do. That's like the sound Skype makes, right? I think. Do 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 do. Hello? Pause champ? I can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Yeah. My audio devices got reset, probably because I was doing some VR stuff a little second ago. So yeah, here we go.
VR stuff?
I'm playing that dungeon game that Ped looked at.
Oh
there.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's okay. Potentially very fun. It's just a bit early access.
I love that saying about a game. It's a bit early access. Yeah,
Very early access. I mean, it means it says it's early access itself, so
that's
it's
fair enough.
acceptable. But it was more early access than I was expecting, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I had a bit of a weird moment earlier. We had a bit of a weird moment earlier when
Yes, I heard.
I went to I went to say hi, and then at the same time you started speaking because you just turned your stream on. It was very weird. It was very strange.
Well, yeah, because I had your stream on in the background as well.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to set everything up, and then we'll just use Redox's music. That's fine. And then as soon as I start doing that, suddenly I start hearing myself back again, and it's like, have I left my stream open? But no, we just both did the exact same thing.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Anyway, no Carrot. We're not doing Christmas questions. We did all the Christmas questions last episode,
all of them.
which I swear to God, I don't remember if I saved it or not. If I didn't, I'm sorry. J Fusion's gonna shout at me probably if I didn't.
Mine will still be there for now.
Yeah, because
my
pays
Prime
for
Super
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saved it or not. Chances are I didn't. Yes, there was a science stream. I think it was like after Christmas, maybe? Before Christmas?
It was.
No, I think it was between Christmas and between like the end of
between
Jingle Jam and start of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the 16th or something like that. So it will, if it existed, it's definitely not there anymore. If I didn't save it, which I don't remember saving it, so that was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
And it's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, don't. Yep, it is definitely gone. Okay, I just checked it. Well, I forget every time. The carburetor question is still in the mix. Don't worry about it. And we're gonna need you to answer it because I don't know anything about cars or any of their burators. There's like a little plush thing in my
as part
hair.
of season 2 of
Yeah, we're in season 2 now.
and certainly accurate.
Plush thing in
I've
my
added
hair.
my own drawing window.
Oh shit! Wait.
So I've put it at the top right of the screen here.
That's
And
not how this works. Because if
I don't-
wait, okay, wait.
I don't
wait,
know,
wait.
right? If
That's
you
gonna-
want to put, if you have your drawing window at the top left, and then your camera on the bottom left, and then we can have the question in the bottom middle.
Wait, you can't just tell me that while we've started.
We
Change
don't-
my entire fucking layout.
We don't plan this before. Sorry.
You can't just tell me this now. What the fuck?
How long does
Oh
it
my
take?
God.
I've just
Admin is
done
how
it.
the stream starts every time. It's very true. No, because then I have to like. Oh, okay. Because then I have to add another window that also captures your stream. On top of it, on top of the one that I already have capturing your face.
No,
No, what?
you can just capture my right half of the screen, and then on top of that, put the question in the middle bottom, and it's accomplishing the same thing. Because I've not left a gap. All you have to cover up essentially is the small gap. Hang on, can I draw on my own stream? The small gap where Wooper is, basically.
We're gonna. I'm gonna open up this so that people.
Because I could add, say, a border around my other box. Hang on, I'll do that.
Oh god! Stop looking at my screen because that's confusing.
No, this is necessary.
No,
So,
you need to
there we
turn
go.
off my screen.
There we go.
quickly.
So I've put that there, and then if I drag that out, like,
But it's so
like,
large. We're...
like that or some shit.
Oh my god.
There we go. You see? You see? Shut up, Isaac. What the fuck?
But where's my drawing part? This isn't symmetrical or anything.
So
It
your
doesn't
drawing
work.
part will go over here, and it will be sort of symmetrical. It's not quite symmetrical. I can make mine slightly bigger if need be.
I see. Okay, and then in the middle we'll have in the middle bottom we'll have the question.
Yeah, the question will go like down
See,
here.
the thing is, my drawing part is the question because I just draw on the question. So I'd have to like rearrange all the questions for that.
Well, that's fine.
That's not how
That's
this
fine.
works. I mean,
This
but
is
then
like.
how would I cut it like that? It's not how this works.
What do you mean? How would you
Oh
cut it
my
like that?
God.
It's literally Discord text.
What do you mean Discord text?
What bit are we talking about? What's the confusing part right now?
Okay. So what I want to do. Okay, so my. Okay.
Like, hang on. Let me group these two together real quick. Group into folder. This is wheat drawing. Okay. So there's that. Now I can make that just like a bit bigger. Hang on. That didn't work. Let's undo that. Hang on, I went too far.
Oh my God.
So like the midway point is there. No, that's too
We'll
far.
get
It's
to
about.
questions at some point, chat.
It's about. You know what? I think
Use
it's pretty
the
much
link
where
for
it was to
admin.
begin with. I think it's there.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
It's about. Yeah. I've just put it back where it was originally. Like
Okay.
that seems fine to me. If I can just move the box along slightly without.
Just have
you
it
just
in the middle.
use-
Okay. Okay. Wait.
You just
Okay,
use
I'll
what
have a
space
think.
you want, and I'll adapt to what you do. I just wanted to warn you that I've added a drawing window for myself, so I might have covered up things that you would otherwise
My
do.
face. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And like half of the question. Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, we're gonna have to get rid of chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Bye-
get
bye,
rid,
chat.
rid of this. We don't need any of that. Okay, fuck you, chat. We don't need you anymore.
Fuck's sake.
I'm very sorry, chat, but we hate you. Think of the children. Okay.
Yep.
Now, second of all, okay, I'm gonna move my camera, and this. Oh God, which border is the one I can move? This is the one I can move. Okay, so I need to move this one. So you and my camera. That's not me and my camera. Okay, it's fine. If I can just move... Oh, my camera's locked. That's why I didn't move. If I move myself over here... And this here... Okay, this is what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, like, aligned, the same height or anything, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah, and now... I need... How do I... But the thing is, I need to, like... Okay, can I can extend this part up, right?
Maybe
That's
what
not-
you need is 2 drawing windows.
What do you mean?
So you have the one where you put the question as per usual,
Yeah.
but now that goes in the bottom middle, and then you have your proper drawing window in the top left, and then we'll arrange those so it's symmetrical.
Okay, but then how would I have it so that it works with this? Because then I really...
Oh, you're fucked with that. Like that screen is just gonna have to be a completely different usage. I'm not sure
okay.
how we'll do the wheel either. To be honest, the wheel's fucked.
God,
The wheel can go in the bottom middle as well.
Oh, oh my God, I can't believe you would do this to the wheel. Okay, so what I need to do is, first of all, this. And then this.
Yep, that's perfect.
And then like this. Okay, but this is a square, which isn't helpful. Because doesn't fit in there, does it?
I could expand mine further lengthways. so that
No.
I take
No,
up
I can
more
just
of the
make
screen.
mine. I can just make this wider, like By next
Yeah.
time, I'll just, instead of making square ones, I'll make wide ones. That's fine. Like,
Yeah,
every
there's
new
a lot
question will
of
just be
extra
wide,
space because
but-
we were running out of space for things to add anyway. So
Were we?
I say we. You.
Sure. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm gonna just... Okay, I'm just gonna do it, because, like, it was just too much work anyway. I'm just gonna remove this again. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add a new one, which is gonna... oh, right, I can make it small enough, because that's my own thing. I'm gonna add a new one.
Thing is, I can actually resize my square for now so that it can be of identical size to yours, and then we can still be symmetrical.
Sure. This is true.
Like,
but it also doesn't matter. Now, okay.
what the fuck?
Here's the thing.
Oh, I've covered up the Yummers logo.
Yeah, the Yummers logo, I'll move it somewhere at some point, but that's for at the end. First of all, we've lost our sponsor this season. It's fine.
Get fucked.
We're not sponsored by Yummers anymore.
No.
It's over. Maybe we'll get our sponsor back halfway through.
Brothers
the season or
Cider
something.
or Xbox Game Pass will be our new sponsors.
Yeah. Okay. So what we want. What we want is. Thank you, Wise.
Do you know
Thank you.
they're actually changing the name of Xbox Game Pass? I'd forgot what it was too, because it was called Xbox Game Pass for PC, which was not very clear what it is.
I've lost your stream. It's here. I found your stream.
That's good. That's good. They changed its name, and I don't know what to. It may have been just to Game Pass.
What? To remove the Xbox? Like,
Yeah, because it was confusing. Because like if I say Xbox Game Pass, you don't think it's on PC. Even if I say Xbox Game Pass for PC, that's a
Yeah,
mouthful.
no, I agree. I agree. That's true.
Okay,
so
speaking
this is
of,
Wheat.
Outer Wilds is coming to Xbox Game Pass in 20 hours.
We're not actually sponsored by Xbox Game Pass. You don't need to talk about this.
Well, I'm just interested.
How wide? Okay, needs to be like more wide. So like if we do like this.
I'm pretty sure Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming soon as well. Anyway.
Okay, don't. Oh god. Okay, wait. Don't speak. Oh god. Okay, wait. Don't speak. Help. Help. Okay, I've muted
Don't
it.
speak.
I've muted it.
It just
Actually, what we need is this.
That's no reason.
Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, wait.
Because it hurts.
I need the thing for the pop out player,
Mm-hmm.
which is this. And I need to put it in here, which is gonna make sound again.
I'm ready.
No, it's muted. Perfect.
Good work, team.
And now, from this, I need only... No, I need this part. But only like the middle part, because I'm going to put my own border around it. And then I move over here. Draw something in your thing. Perfect, okay. And now we need to add more borders. Because that's what the world needs right now. Was that funny? I don't know.
Why can't I draw in the top part of this? That's really weird.
I don't know if this is the middle or if it isn't. But I did Wise. I did add Jinx actually.
Really weird.
Here you go. Did you move it around?
No,
You did.
no. It's in
You
the
did.
same place. I'm just...
No,
Uh,
no, you're moving it.
Well, yes, but it's still within the same box.
Stop
Just
moving
just
it.
don't worry about it. It will be in the same place. I'm just
I'm
having
worrying
some
about
minor
it.
difficulty. Okay, there we go. I've finished.
I am worried about it.
Oops.
What the fuck have you done?
That
Oh
was
my
one too far.
God.
Look, I went through a lot of effort trying to get this right, okay? There we go. There's my black screen. See,
There we
this
go.
is why I'm confused, right? Because my window stops where that white thing stops. I can't draw above there when I get the other one up. I don't know why.
Oh.
But
What?
so I must
That is
have
very
fucked something
weird.
up. Oh fuck. Oh, I accidentally clicked something. Hang on, I need to redraw my box. It'll be fine. It's all gonna look the same.
Borders are
Right.
very in right now? What does that mean? Oh, very in, I see. Okay. It's like they're very in the right now, but no, they're very in right now. It's true, borders are very in. People love borders. We could
True.
make like fancy borders. You know how Boba's got like the one that like swirls around and stuff? But
Oh,
that's
that's
not
so
that's
much
not like
effort.
us, you know? It's not
Yeah,
like I think
that's
that
far
would
too much.
undermine the you know what we stand
agree.
for. That would
Yeah.
undermine what we stand for here at Uncertainly Accurate.
Yeah. Bam.
Oh God, what? No. I don't want borders. Fuck. Okay, now here's the thing, which I just realized.
Yeah.
I need to make a second thing to draw on. For up here, and then make the questions down here. So, realistically, I need to start putting the questions in something else that is not Fire Alpaca. Season 2, Episode 1, admin. Literally, this entire thing is going to be us doing admin. But it's fine, it's fine. Next time
Yeah,
will be,
this is
it's going to
yeah.
be great.
this is setting up for the new season. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't quite expecting a new season. My stream title is literally season 2, apparently.
So is mine. Was
No.
mine season 2? Question mark? I don't know.
Yeah, I just read your title and was like, "Oh, it's season 2 now." Apparently,
I don't know.
I was all set to go episode 12.
I like to call things seasons and episodes, but like I don't know. It's not.
Yeah.
Normally they do this before the season starts. Normally they have these things prepared. Surely
don't.
by season 2 you'd think that they were ready before it starts. But I think part of the charm is the
Yeah.
process. Trust the process and all whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an important stage.
So, what if we... Okay, I have a plan for what I'm going to do in the future, I think. I think what I'm going to do in future is take a screenshot of every question, save it, and then have a folder with all the screenshots, and then I can open a view of the screenshot and put that down here in the bottom.
Oh well, I'm glad I've not made you much more work.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it, because
Yeah,
I don't see how we do it otherwise. For now though, what about? Okay, for now I have a plan. For now, what I'm gonna do is very simple.
go on. You can do this.
I'm gonna. Okay, I figured it out. I'll write the question. I'll just write the question at the bottom myself.
Oh,
Or like
genius.
in short, and then by
Yeah.
next time we'll actually have a thing for.
Yeah,
it.
it's good to get it paraphrased.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I've added now a thing that I can edit. Oh, stop moving. I need to move you down here. And if I like open it, and it's like question. Okay, it's a bit big. It's a bit big.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go, and then I can fix it. Okay,
Perfect.
we're gonna. I still have a wheel, so we're gonna spin the wheel over here.
Yeah.
This is so bad. This is so bad. Holy
No,
shit.
this is great. This is such an improvement.
Is it? We've lost
Yep.
our sponsor. Everything's gone. I hope you better write something fucking useful down. I swear.
I really better. This had better get used.
If you do not fucking use this, I've just changed up my entire thing. I'm not going back. Okay, this better be get fucking used.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll find something to put in this box
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
at some point. Like, even if that becomes where I put my space sim stuff.
I don't want to look at Space Sim. That's not important enough. Okay. If we could have a larger
It's
thing of my
beautiful
screen and
science.
like, the thing, if we can have a larger view of the question, like
Look,
then I'd rather have that. Than...
These boxes can be resized. Like, I could go
No,
way
they
over here.
No, they can't. That's literally impossible. I do like the fact that you've got like blue borders and I've got red borders. I think it's nice. I think you should overlay my red borders with blue borders on your screen, because that way if people look at your stream, it's the exact same layout but just blue borders instead of red borders. You know?
Sure, I'll work on that at some
Yeah.
point.
What the fuck? I've just changed my entire fucking scene right now. You're like, I'll do it at some point. There's one thing you need to do. What the fuck? Okay. We're gonna fucking spin the wheel. There's a bunch of questions that have been there since like September or whatever. So let's get
What
through
the
this.
fuck? Hang on. So I moved a blue border over, but I only moved I moved the only one I had.
I don't know what song this is. Oh my god! That is the fucking chances of that. What? Holy shit. Look at it. What the hell? Wow. We're,
The fuck?
We're going
What?
for it. It's carburetor time. Wait.
It's carburetor time.
That is so funny. The fucking chances of that. Oh my god. That's incredible. This is a long question. So, I don't know how to do this. How carburetor. I didn't even know that was how you spelt it.
Doesn't look right, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I googled it at the time, and it was apparently because I thought it was with an A.
Oh.
I thought it was like a car. I can't. Where's my color? I thought
A
it was
carburetor.
why can I not? Oh, I see.
A carburetor?
Yeah, I thought it was like a carburetor with an A.
Yep, I just spelt it wrong.
But whoops. Apparently that's not true. Apparently it isn't
No,
true.
no. Good, there you go. That's part one done. How to spell carburetor. This is the kind of detail you get here.
God. Okay. Yeah. Carrot's gonna explain to us what a carburetor is while we just fucking blabber on about fucking anything and nothing, I guess. I don't know. How do carburetors work? How are plastic carburetors able to handle the heat and stress of an engine? What are the pros and cons of a plastic versus an aluminum carburetor? What's an engine need? A mixture of... Okay, I did actually, I remember now. I completely forgot. But when Chef wrote this question, which was the end of November last year, so it's like more than a month ago at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure what it does is like the basic idea of it is that you've got like there's like an air stream and it's like pumping in like little bubbles of fuel, so that there's a mix of fuel and air once it goes through. I think that's what I read at the time.
What
so
I
it
just
has
read
two flat
is that
propellers,
it's-
like things that spin. There's a nozzle on the side that ejects fuel into the carburetor into propellers. Into the same chamber, the air also goes into from the air filter and intake. Wait, what were we gonna say?
That what I was reading is that it's based on some fella called Bernoulli's principle, which is all to do with fluid dynamics.
True. I learned about that.
And you have pressure differentials and fluids / flow, and I'm now reading more about that. Oh, I can really make use of my green already. Look at this. This is brilliant. Hang on.
No, we can see your whole thing that you're showing an image of a carburetor.
Yeah, now there's a new image of flow.
Pog. Yeah, it's
Heavily pixelated.
Bernoulli's principle, which is basically, I need to do this. Get rid of all this shit. It's like the pressure. Is that pressure?
You can
Pressure
increase the speed of a fluid simultaneously with a decrease in static pressure. Hang on. I lost my chat for a moment. There we go. I might need that. Bam. Perfect. Just in case, you gotta be careful. You never know when chat might be needed. As if. Yeah.
And this is like the same, like equal to itself. Basically, this sum is a constant. I'll just write a big C. Is a constant in a tube. So if you have a tube that goes like that, like at the top there, it's like a constant. So basically, it comes down to things like if there's a larger area and it goes into a smaller area, the liquid has to speed up to get through that area at the same rate of flow.
Yeah. The traffic example is the one you're always given in school, where you have 2 lanes of cars moving at 70 miles an hour. If you change that to 1 lane, to get the same number of cars through, they would all have to be doing 140 miles an hour. Or something like that.
Yeah. It makes sense. And it's because of this, it's because this is constant. Because this sum here is constant. Oh god. That's weird. I don't know why you were talking about Bernoulli's principle, but
because it linked to
it. Okay.
The carburetor works on Bernoulli's principle. The faster air moves, the lower its static pressure and the higher the dynamic pressure is. Dynamic pressure being something with an equation. The throttle linkage does not directly control the flow of liquid fuel. Instead, it actuates carburetor mechanisms that meter the flow of air being carried into the engine. The speed of this flow, and therefore its static pressure, determines the amount of fuel drawn into the airstream. So it's there to alter the amount of fuel you get at any given moment, and power as a result.
I found like a pretty interesting image when I looked it up the first time.
You would say that. Sorry.
Yeah. I did.
You know what is something else interesting about flow?
Go on.
I need to pee.
Can you at least...
Fuck off.
This is the shit I have to deal with, chat. This is the shit I have to deal with every single fucking time. Every single fucking time, okay? Okay, every single fucking time. And it's horrible. It's hell. But yeah, anyway. Here's a basic carburetor. The idea is fuel will come in here. It'll get blown out of there. Right? That's still not red. Yeah, you're right. Carrot saying was actually right. Anyway, Wheat's got a minion on. Wheat's got a minion on his bed. Who's probably more interesting than Wheat right now. So I hope we get to see the minion later on. Anyway, it gets like these little particles of fuel get like bubbled up in there. There's multiple types of carburetor, because I saw a few different ones. But the idea is just that it like gets bubbled into there, and then the air will end up being a mixture of these. But because this is such a small area here, I think that is like the main idea of Bernoulli's principle. This is such a small area, and we've got like a larger area, and fuel keeps coming in here, so it just kind of like shoots out of here faster, which makes it there. Hello, Wheat.
Sorry, I'd been holding that for a while.
Why did I hate you. Get the minion in. Get the minion in instead.
It is. It's on screen right now.
Get it on the chair. Get it right here. Get it the headphones.
I didn't plan that far ahead. I could do that. Hang on.
Oh god. We'll assign a second Wise. I think it's still on the Wise list as well. Is Wheat wearing shorts?
Oh, wrong. Hang on. Oh, I've really fucked up my grouping now.
What are you doing?
Did that work?
No?
Yeah.
Oh, you've just turned your thing
I
off,
love
so
it.
you keep
I love it. I was really confused. Wait, if I put my headphones on, I won't be able to hear you. Oh, whatever. It's no different. I'll just assume I know what you're saying.
What the fuck? That is horrible. Okay. I love that it always zooms in on that wall.
Shit. He's a bit short.
It's so stupid. At least hold it up. Hold it up. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Stay.
Oh my god.
There has to be.
Yeah, JFusion.
Maybe,
this is just what it's like every time. It's not any different. Why is that like on his mic?
Ta-da!
This is Minion Gaming. Can I show the question? I sure can. We'll go over it in a second again.
Oh, I can go.
Yeah, okay. So Minion, what do you think of Wheat? How do you like Wheat? Is he like a good, roommate? Come on, give us some hot takes about Wheat, Minion. We're waiting. Not really very talkative Minion, is it? Well. Is we just playing guitar in the background? Why is he like this? Why is he like this? Okay, we're gonna go through the questions again. How are plastic carburetors able to handle the heat and stress of an engine? Like Carrot says, they're just not in the parts that... They're not in the combustion part, so they don't actually get that hot, I assume. Because, like, there's a lot of parts to an engine, and the only part that we need to get hot is the part that, like, the combustion part. The other parts are... Like, there's ways that the heat and energy gets diffused, right? Can you shut the fuck up?
How's it going? How is the Minion as a streamer?
Way better than you, honestly. way better. Oh god.
How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing great. Yeah, he's really had some really good insights on carburetors.
Oh, I thought you would. You should
Yeah.
know about that kind of stuff. I mean, he's a very mechanical fella.
Yeah. We isn't wearing shorts? What the fuck? We haven't even asked him yet. Guys, you can't say that. We don't know for sure. But it is
Yeah,
true.
this is just the color of my legs.
You can't say that. That's literally like blackface. What the fuck?
What?
That's
Literally blackface
fucked
to
up.
have black legs.
Yes. Exactly. Okay. I'm glad you understand. Anyway. But yeah, they're probably just not near the engine, so I guess they're just like they don't get that hot. And also there's plastics that can get hot. Because it's not like just your anyday plastic that a water bottle or something will be made out of, right? It will be like just a well-made plasticky kind of looking thing. Pros and cons: plastic versus an aluminum carburetor. Let's see what Carrot had to say about that.
Oh yeah. Because it would be a better answer than whatever we get.
Oh, no. Carrot says, I don't actually know. I assume mostly that aluminum withstands wear better and is easier to recycle in the future, but they may be more expensive, but I'm not 100% sure on that last one. Fair enough.
Don't mind the tap. I'm just pouring a drink.
What the fuck? Why does an engine need a mixture of fuel and air? Well, if you're gonna set anything on fire, which is basically what you're doing in the end, it's a combustion. And you need the triangle, right? You need oxygen. You need a fuel. And lastly,
Ignition.
you need heat.
Yeah, that. That's the one.
Yeah, ignition works though, right? It's a tetrahedron nowadays. Really? What's the... Tetra? Tetra. What the
Tetra's
other-
right.
Okay. Yeah, but
What
they
are the
wrote it
new
wrong.
ones?
Tetra is... Tetra's... I want to say 4, right?
5, I think.
5? I don't remember. I think it's... Yeah,
Four.
4. What's the fourth
Oh.
one?
What they added to this then? What nonsense is in it? What could there possibly be apart from fuel, oxygen, and heat? Maybe that's the ignition.
Can you say us what the fourth thing is instead of talking about...
Damn
the
it, we know
name
what
of
it means.
Carrot?
We know it's 4 now.
We need
Damn
to
it,
know.
Carrot.
Anyway, that's why it needs both fuel and heat and ignition.
Wow.
Are those not the same things in the end?
No. Because, like, you can get some things really hot and it might not ignite still. But you need the spark that lights
Okay.
the fire that starts the rebellion.
The fourth
There's
is
something
chain
there.
reaction? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Okay. I'm
Wait,
not
what? That's
gonna...
5 now.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm not gonna comment on that because this seems... I don't know. I
Seems
I
like
don't trust
bullshit.
it. I don't
Yeah.
trust it.
I'm going to have to do my fire training for work again at some point. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Let us know what they say. Anyway,
Unfortunately, as a minion, I'm quite flammable.
are you? What
I think
are
so.
you made of then?
Well,
Compared
this
to
one
other-
is quite felty. So, I mean, I'm quite felty. So I
Okay.
would probably burn quite
Redux
easily.
is also cute.
Oh god.
Oh whoa.
Jake. Oh god.
Oh, 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 oh.
That's complete- oh, it almost looks like Jay subscribed to me.
Yeah, you get fucked. This has happened every single time. I don't know why you're complaining about it now.
What do you mean? I wasn't complaining.
Okay, good. Anyway, thank you, Jay. How are you doing? We've got our special guest today, which is Minions.
Yeah.
Minions 9.
Minna's 9.
That graph looks like a vagine. What do you mean?
Oh, it's my fallopian tubes of pressure differentials.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, that's Wheat's. Over there is Wheat's drawing, and this is my writing and drawing things. Anyway, let's continue on through the question. Why can't you just let the fuel flow in at a slow trickle, and that's that? Because it needs to be mixed in with the air, and the point of a carburetor is that I'll show it again. It like sprays it out basically in like fine little binguses, so that it's like mixed into the air and it becomes like a mixture of air of like a gas and a fluid. Which just makes combustion easier instead of having like a bit of liquid and then the air above, where you can have like this part only that can burn. If you have like the full mix, it has more where you have both fuel and air to burn. Why are you taking the mic away from the minion?
Sorry, I fucked
He
up.
needs that to speak.
Really fucked up.
What the fuck are you doing? Why are you holding a glass?
I'm having a drink.
At least put it down before you're... Yeah, put the glass down.
I have 2 hands.
Why were you using the hand that was holding the glass then?
Because I needed to temporarily...
Because you needed 3 hands, so at that point you put down the glass and I'm pouring over the minion.
I'm perfectly capable of holding this still with a glass while I move things around.
I really hope you drop it now. I really do.
No, because I am a well-coordinated cishet chav. So, get fucked.
I will not have this. I will not have this. I know you put a lot of work into writing your answers. I can't be arsed to go reading them, though. What did you say? Stop saying things, because that pulls my chat down.
Oh, brilliant.
Trying to read.
If you have something important to say it in my chat, because it's not going anywhere. So, you know,
why
stay there for longer.
Why can't you just let the fuel flow in at a slow trickle? It won't mix well, and there's several parts of the engine burning cycle where you cannot put fuel in. That's what I said. The optional ratio of fuel to air depending on what you want to do and properties of the engine. If you have a very large volume engine or you want more power, you might want to run a bit more rich, aka more fuel. If you have a smaller engine or better fuel mileage, you want to run a bit lean. Sure. Oh, that was about the optimal ratio of air to fuel. Yeah, of course there are optimal ratios of air to fuel. It just depends what you're doing. Now, why are you... We need the minion back.
Keep coming.
Wait, this is very important. Okay, good. This ratio change depending on what type of gasoline you're using? Almost certainly. Which is why you've got like certain engines that work for like diesel and certain engines that work for like other things. I don't know. I don't know enough about cars. I already said. What makes a fuel injector more efficient than a carburetor? I don't know what a fuel injector is. Did you reply to that, Carrot? Huh?
Probably.
Oh yeah, between direct and port fuel injectors, but I think port injectors spread the fuel across the combustion chamber instead of just shoving that fuel in at the top. That did not explain anything.
Maybe it did.
Maybe it did, but I didn't understand. So yeah, I know. I'm assuming fuel injectors just do something different, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They do, yeah. They do something different. Sounds perfect. Sorry, I just had to tighten my microphone. Oh no, now it's in the minion's face. There we go. Perfect.
Found this image of a fuel injector, which looks like a Star Wars spaceship.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's the executor. No, it's not. It's definitely not that.
Might as well.
It could be
not.
anything.
No wonders
Sure.
humor is cancelled. No. J Fusion, please. Spray tip. It just atomizes the fuel, which ends up being. In the end, it ends up doing the same thing, right? Because atomizing something is basically the same as what a carburetor does, except a carburetor does it like next to it, whereas you can just and it just is already mixed into the air that you're blowing. Whereas the carburetor needs like to suck air and fuel into, like, you have a stream of air and it's like putting fuel into it, and I think this is just going and you've got atomized shit, right? I don't know.
Sounds good. Get atomized, bitch.
Yeah.
Get
there you go.
atomized.
Well-
Get atomized.
What Kara is saying. There you go. What's between port and direct fuel injection? I don't fucking know.
No one knows.
One's at port and the other is at what's the other one?
Injection. Hang on.
No.
Port and direct injection. Here's why cars use both. Why do they use both?
One's at port and the other's at starboard.
Port injection is used at low revs per minute for better air-fuel mixing,
Someone liked that joke.
results in a more stable, efficient combustion.
Someone found
Direct
it funny.
injection, on the other hand, cools the air inside the cylinder, greatly reducing the probability of knock. This means the engine can advance timing and run more boost before
yes,
running
yes.
into issues.
No.
Direct injection is used at high RPM to cool the chamber at high loads and create the most possible power. There you go.
There you go.
One of them is good for ensuring that the air mixes with the fuel so it can go. The other one cools it down if it's going quick, so it can continue to go.
There you go. Today you learned. The more interesting
I
part
did.
is
Yes,
The-
I did.
the Bernoulli principle.
Yeah, because that like has other.
That's like actually
applications.
interesting. And it doesn't
Yeah.
specifically have to do with cars. Yeah,
Hang
exactly.
on, shall I get a new image up just to really like
Yeah, you need something in there. You need like a base image, like I
we
do.
go.
Oh, is that your base image?
Yeah, that's our engine.
Okay, that's carburetor done. Boom, we're speeding through them.
Yeah, we are. Oh, I'll need a new image then. Hang on, I'll wait for you to
Yeah.
say what's next, and then I'll sort it out.
Okay, well we'll look at the wheel.
The wheel
okay?
of fate,
We'll see.
science,
Wheel of fate.
science,
Yeah, it's
completely
science.
different thing, of course.
True. Yeah. Okay. Let's spin it. There's a lot of questions on here. This is a weird song.
Well, I have the same song every time, so it's great.
See you, Kara.
Vacuum.
Next one is probably gonna be vacuum. Unless it... No, it just got to vacuum. There you go. Hooray! Okay.
Hooray.
There's a bunch of questions here. We're going to talk about those later. But now it's vacuum time. Oh, it's a chef one again, so I can't really write the entire question. What the fuck is that? Who's what?
James Dyson.
I hate it. Vacuum. It's more about, it's not about a vacuum, but about, it's not like a vacuum cleaner. It's more about just the concept
vacuum.
of vacuum.
Well,
Yeah.
there we go. Hang on then. I'll get something better.
Just remove the image out would have been more accurate, probably.
Yeah, that's clever.
So, to start, is vacuum actually empty? Yes and no? Because, okay, the question you're asking here is vacuum actually empty? The answer is always going to be yes. Because the concept of a vacuum is there is nothing, right? That is the entire concept. However, when we talk about a vacuum, oftentimes we'll be talking about like the vacuum of space, or like when you vacuum seal like some food to put in, like I don't know, when you vacuum seal things, right? Which
Yeah.
it's not entirely vacuum, but
Yeah. There's probably like an actual definition, because like it's essentially a region of extremely low pressure.
yeah, because of the absence of stuff.
Of stuff. Yeah. What I'm wondering is if there's a level of low pressure that is defined as the place where a vacuum is.
Like the threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that maybe. So you can figure it out. But yeah, when you look at like space, the vacuum of space, you'll have like there are still some particles flying around in space, but compared to the Earth's atmosphere or anywhere else, it's basically nothing, right? It's not enough to be like conducting. Like it's not. It won't be enough to actually do anything. So practically, it will be a vacuum, but technically, there will be like some elements just flying around.
Yeah, what I have at the moment from trying to find that is there's a few examples of what a vacuum level is, essentially.
Okay.
So typical vacuum cleaners, 20% air pressure reduction compared to standard atmosphere. That isn't high enough for it to be called like an actual
You'd be
vacuum
able to
definition.
breathe in there.
Yeah, the so-called ultra-high
Okay,
vacuum chambers, ultra-high vacuum chambers that are used in like labs and stuff,
Yeah.
are 1 trillionth of atmospheric pressure, so 10 to the minus 9. Outer space,
pretty
though,
good.
hasn't even been given a value on here. It just says it's equivalent of having a few hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. So that is as essentially empty as you
As
can get.
vacuum as it can get.
Yeah.
The concept is there is nothing, but yeah, we can get close to it. Is the idea.
Yeah, but there are just random particles flying about the place. So yeah, it will never quite be. Yeah, okay, there it is. I found it. So a perfect vacuum being 0, but no examples given. Outer space is
The closest.
yeah, very close. Like I was trying to give a unit. We'll go with atmospheres again. So outer space is in a range of 9.8 times 10 to minus 10 to 2.9 to the power of minus 20. So it's a pretty big range it's been given.
Well, yeah, because
yeah.
it depends where you are, I guess. There's like
Yeah. So actually, the ultra high vacuum and extremely high vacuum, because the scientists are great at naming things,
famously.
do actually fit in that range of being between minus 13 and minus 16.
Okay.
The extremely high vacuum is actually at the very limit of the ultra high vacuum. So the extremely high vacuum is the maximum that we've got to. They're both referred to as ultra high vacuum. So because the maximum value of ultra high vacuum is the exact value of the extremely high vacuum. They do that with telescopes as well. Just going off topic here, there was the so one of the telescopes
the
that
naming of
was
telescopes.
called like the large telescope, and also somewhere is the very large telescope.
Yeah, then they made a better one that was just the Very Large Telescope, which is literally its name, which
I'm
is
pretty sure there's somewhere.
incredible. It's
Pretty
like
sure somewhere is the
yeah.
extremely large telescope as well.
Maybe. I don't remember that, but yeah, it's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. Scientists are not good at naming things,
They're
and that
great
is
at
just
it.
a fact.
It's
Um,
perfect.
We should honestly just have a segment every week where we just show something off that has a stupid ass name. I think because there's so many things that just have terrible names.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's a cool story between about the first pulsar that was ever detected. It got named LGM1, and the reason it got named
Okay.
that is because it gave off a very consistent radio signal that could be interpreted as someone sending a message. Because when pulsars spin, they release energy as like pulses, so you can detect that. And they got called LGM1 because those pulses could have been a alien signal. So the LGM stands for Little Green Men. So there you go.
Fuck's sake. It's so stupid. Anyway.
So in addition to the vacuum of space being very empty, Stephen Hawking's theory of black hole decay involving Hawking radiation implies that there are empty spaces, not always empty as well. It's also filled with so-called virtual particles, which create themselves in the vacuum of space, and they create like a particle and its antiparticle brother, and they collide
Just go bloop.
immediately. So the theory is that empty space is full of these constantly appearing and then immediately hitting and annihilating each other and disappearing, essentially. That has... Sorry, I've got a really annoying song in my playlist coming up that I need to skip immediately.
Okay.
So the theory of those is essentially the theory of why black holes decay over time. These happen on the event horizon. One of them flies off and becomes a real particle, and the other one falls into the black hole, causing it to lose mass in the form of the now particle that's been emitted off into space. So empty space can be seen to be filled with those as well.
But
like-
in the end, they appear and disappear, so they have no impact.
Yeah, but they are essentially appearing, which is an odd theory to consider, that empty space is full of things just appearing and disappearing.
True.
Black holes really slowly become normal stuff again. To an extent. So as they decay, they will be becoming normal matter over time, in the form of very small individual particles. When they start to really get to the small side, they will actually start to radiate in different ways and eventually die with an explosion. The smaller the black hole gets, the quicker it dies. So, which is also odd when you consider this method of it decaying in the first place. When you consider it decays because virtual particles are appearing on its event horizon, you
Yeah,
would
surely
think
the
the
larger
larger
the
it
event
is,
horizon, the more that
got more
happens.
places where that can happen. So there are other ways which black holes decay. I just can't remember off the top of my head what they are.
Okay, but that's very interesting, but also
But
we're
it's
talking
not
about
on top.
vacuums here and not about black holes.
No. I got
There is a
asked
question about black holes in here, I think, somewhere. So maybe we'll
get
get
there.
to that later.
Yeah.
Why does water boil when in a vacuum?
Oh, I know the graph of pressure temperature relation. I can't remember exactly what it is though. Don't know how to explain it. Pressure boiling. Blah blah blah. How does that work? Boiling point, that'll do it. Oh,
Can you get the graph up?
no. Because I found something else.
You
I found
this
an
perfectly
actual-
nice area where you can just put things.
Hang on, let
And
me
you've
find
made
it.
me make my own area smaller. And I'm not even fucking using it. I cannot believe
Alright,
this
I
shit.
found something else that was what I
Cannot
wanted.
believe this shit.
Hang on, how do I even Google that? What's it called? Is it
Fill it with
boiling?
booty. True! What a banger of an emote. What a banger of an emote. Probably would be banned off of normal Twitch if it wasn't for fucking Frankerface.
Right, there we go.
No! We're gonna get banned for a pixel emote. Remove it, quick. Quick. Okay. For fuck's sake. God damn it. God damn it. Those pixels were too sexy.
I have so much control.
Oh my god. Okay, I need
Okay,
to find
I-
which one is yours so I can remove it real quick. Boom. Okay.
So,
Fuck's sake.
so anyway, the definition I was reading was the boiling point of a substance is the temperature of fuck's sake. The temperature at which
Temperature
the
of
vapor pressure of a liquid equals the pressure surrounding the liquid. So, if the pressure of a liquid becomes higher than the pressure of no, it'll be the other way around. Becomes lower than the pressure of the surrounding no. Which way round is it? It will be the other way, won't it? It will be higher than no, yes. No what?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to work out which way it is where lowering the pressure around the liquid causes the liquid to boil.
Well, the pressure in the liquid itself will be higher than in the vacuum around it. Right?
Yeah.
Because in a vacuum
But
you have...
It's saying though the vapor pressure of a liquid. I'm not entirely sure what that means. What does
Me
vapor
neither.
pressure mean?
Phase diagram time. I was thinking about that as well. That's what I was thinking Wheat was going to get up, but...
Well, I was considering something slightly different. There you go. Why is
Yeah,
that only copied that?
That's
Why
not
is
a phase diagram.
no? This is to do with vapor pressure.
Get me a
For goodness
phase
sake, it's a
diagram.
bloody transparent image. Fine. There you go. There's vapor. Oh shit! Hang on. Oh, fuck.
Chicken box, no. No, not the chicken box.
There we go. So there are words on this, but unfortunately, I've used a black background, so we can't see them.
Just change your background then.
So this is a vapor pressure chart. At the bottom, so this big grouping down here.
Mm-hmm.
Why is my mouse appearing there? I want it to appear on this window. There we go. It's there now. It's in the right place. So this grouping at the bottom is a liquid, obviously. And then you have this line here, where it changes into a gas.
Yes.
There you go. It's now a gas. Why is that so? Anyway, so look, I'll even write something because I've not done that yet. Gas. Perfect. Liquid. Perfect. And you have all these lovely phase transitions happening. Wow, isn't it beautiful? Where things go below that line or above that line. And
Yes.
somewhere on this graph is vapor pressure. It's a title at the top of it, in fact. I'll just call it the VAP because I can't write it all.
Okay.
So that's a thing. And somewhere here, vapor pressure gets involved and is important.
Go on.
Sorry, I lost track. Blah blah blah. But where does atmospheric pressure? Okay. Vapor pressure of any substance increases non-linearly with temperature, according to that. The atmospheric pressure of boiling point of a liquid, also known as the normal boiling point, is the temperature at which the vapor pressure equals the ambient atmospheric pressure with any incremental increase. Okay, brilliant. So, things boil when the vapor pressure equals the ambient atmospheric pressure. So, presumably, when something is cold, it has a lower vapor pressure than it does when it gets hot. And so, what you're doing, so it must be a very low vapor pressure. And then when you lower the atmospheric pressure, you're coming down to meet that vapor pressure, at which point you've reached the same conditions for boiling, just at a lower temperature, which is why it boils. That makes sense. But I could do with a proper definition of vapor pressure. Is defined as the pressure exerted by a vapor in thermodynamic equilibrium with its condensed phases at a given temperature, whatever. That's fine. Okay, yeah, so the temperature is variable and therefore the number is variable.
Keep going.
I'm trying to, like, find words that make it make sense and then convert it into something that makes sense to everyone else as well. Pressure exhibited by vapor present in above a liquid surface is known as vapor pressure. I see. So where the phase changes are happening on the surface of a glass, essentially what's happening here in my lovely diagram. So if you see this as a beaker, essentially, here's my glass of water molecules. Perfect. And then at the top of it is where there's constant phase changes happening. You've got the evaporation and the, well, condensation of things happening constantly at the surface. The pressure of the gas on the liquid surface, where the evaporation is happening, is what the vapor pressure is. When that becomes, which way around was it? Lower than, or well, equal to the atmospheric pressure, you get evaporation and, well, boiling. Because the reasoning I would suspect is that at that point, this layer of pressure that you had on top now doesn't sit there. It now floats away, essentially, because things move from high pressure into low pressure areas. So now you have essentially a identical pressure, but take it as a slightly higher pressure on the surface of the liquid. That is now going into the atmosphere rather than it being an equilibrium where they just sit there and don't really mix. So now that's happening. And then to maintain the pressure at the surface, the liquid needs to boil more to maintain the evaporation and maintain its vapor pressure. So that's trying to happen. And so the liquid boils, creating more of it to keep it balanced, and then whoosh, whoosh. There you go. Thumbs up.
I wasn't paying attention to, but I'm sure.
Why
you
is there
explained
a hard line
Great.
between liquid and gas at low temperature, but not a high temperature? That's interesting. Indeed. Let me take a proper look at your thing. Oh, that's freezing point. Boiling point's up here. Sorry, I looked at that
Yeah.
wrong.
So
Temperature's
I don't know how much you explained, but
I think this is a slightly different thing. Oh, critical point.
critical point. Yeah. At this point, that's like super conduction and shit. Like, isn't it? I don't remember. No, wait,
Critical
'cause
point
this is hot.
Where
It just becomes plasma. I don't know.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of the, what's it called? The triple point, that's the one.
Yeah, which is this one here. Anyway, I don't know how much you explained, because I wasn't paying attention. I was actually making a new command in my chat, but whatever.
What for?
For you, it's UA.
Nice,
Doesn't
good work.
Fuck, why does it not work? What's the bot? What? I swear I added it. I swear. Oh no, wait, I changed it from we to exclamation mark co-host instead. because it sounds more fancy. There you go.
Ah, very clever.
It's mainly just to say that you're out of sync, because I realized it was annoying me, and it might annoy other people. So now there's a thing.
Well, they can go to, as I paste it in my chat, the multi-stream.
Anyway, but yeah, the idea is, if you raise the temperature you've got temperature at the bottom here, right? Temperature, and then pressure at this side, going up on this line, and then temperature going that way. So the higher the temperature goes, the well, basically you usually you pick a pressure, right? Because you'll be at a pretty constant pressure somewhere, and then so for example, say we're at just the standard 1 bar, 1 atmosphere, right? And we'll be we look at that pressure, and it will be we start at 0 degrees here, 0 degrees Celsius. That's where it goes from solid into liquid, and you go from liquid into gas at 100, and that's like where it stops, right? But if you lower the pressure, the lower the pressure gets, the lower the boiling point. Like the closer the boiling point gets to the melting point. So for example, let's say it's like 30 degrees, right? Say it's like 30 degrees Celsius. If we were getting to like a vacuum or nearing a vacuum, this edge over here is getting closer and closer. So the liquid here is gonna start going into gas, because we're at like, let's say we're at like 1,000 of 1,000th of an atmosphere. We've gone even past where liquid like can't even exist. This is for water specifically, right? But this happens to everything. Everything has like a graph like this. There's a lot of interesting crystal structures have like ice has. We looked at a graph for ice like this at some point actually, and it's got like 4 different things around here as well, which is really interesting. Which aren't on here because this is a quite basic one, but there's a bunch of like different things. Anyway, it will start boiling because anything from under this point on water will turn into gas. Any pressure lower than this, right? Because of this line here, and that is why is that? It's because pressure makes molecules move weird.
Yeah, so as long as they were listening to me when you weren't, they'll know why that is. I'm sure
they were listening.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
I'm sure they were listening to you.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah. So
sure
Chili's question was about the straight line for liquid to solid transition, or rather, the mostly straight line, which I'm guessing is at 0 degrees C, because that would make sense. That's when it freezes. I would presume that anything below that, the water, because that's what it is, has too much energy to become a ice, no matter what's going on, and because it doesn't have to worry about pressure so much because it's a liquid. They're essentially, when you become a liquid or solid, your molecules are bound together within the structure of the liquid and solid. Whereas as a gas, your molecules are not. They can flow independently of each other and bounce around. Whereas a liquid, they will continue together. And as a solid, they're frozen together. So that's where the difference comes of it not being so much affected by pressure. Because they're just not. They're kind of in their own system. It's essentially, when you're a liquid or a solid, you're more of a closed system than you are as a gas. As a gas, you can interact with everything. It can flow into you. You can flow into it. As a liquid and solid, on a molecular level, not so much. So at that point, you become stuck, and it becomes almost entirely about energy. Yes, you can really squash something down and force the molecules together, which is why there's a little spike where you can freeze it at a slightly lower temperature. What? That doesn't make sense.
Well, for
Surely
humans,
that would mean,
is this what you're talking
yeah.
about?
Surely that would mean you'd be able to freeze it at a higher temperature. I'm not sure why that happens.
No, this means you can freeze it at a lower temperature but at a higher pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Why would it? Because that's when it requires a lower temperature to be frozen.
Not freeze it, sorry, yeah. It melts at a lower temperature.
But that's
yeah.
either way. So melt at a lower temperature and freeze at a lower temperature. I'm confused why that's
Yeah,
happening at high pressure. And then obviously then afterwards it goes in the direction you'd expect it to, where you can start to have it be frozen at higher temperatures because of the high pressure.
It's
I'm fairly sure there's a reason for that. I just don't remember what it was.
this kind of graph, like this shape reminds me of, I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but it reminds me of the way like the ideal energy needed to like the energy between two atoms or even electrons, because when you, and how they have like an ideal and comparing to the distance between them. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's similar because it's like a dip and then it goes back up and goes like pretty stable. So
Yeah.
there's like this little dip here where it's like the perfect distance, right? Which maybe it's something similar where there's like a little dip where it just somehow doesn't need as much energy, like it doesn't take as much energy to do that phase transition.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
just-
sure
because
if
it's
that
like
is-
just the right pressure and it works, and then after that it becomes really hard to do the phase transition.
Yeah, because that would either happen for everything or potentially could be to do with because water's bent in terms of
Water's
molecularly.
fucking bent, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it really depends because some things don't even have this. Where it
I'm
just
wondering
goes back,
if it is
right?
that because water is a kind of unique thing where it expands when it freezes rather than contracts. So perhaps that's why.
Something like the pressure preventing the molecules lining up to form a solid.
Hang on, I've got something here. Solid is formed when the loose meandering molecules of liquid get slow enough. Yeah, okay, brilliant. When we apply force, we get them closer together. Brilliant. They can therefore form stable bonds. Brilliant. Water is somewhat unique, though. Water molecules spread out when they are bonding into a solid crystalline structure. This spreading out action leads ice to become less dense than liquid water. So I was saying, if you apply enough pressure, making it hard for the water molecules to spread out into the solid structure, you can have liquid water several degrees below 0 degrees
There
Celsius.
you go.
So it is
Yeah, that makes
it's,
sense. Okay, it's because water expands when it freezes,
Yeah,
making it so if the pressure's so high it just can't expand to freeze, it will stay liquid a bit
yeah,
longer.
to a point.
You
And
need-
then eventually you
need
can
to
force it
put
so
in-
much.
Put in more, well, take out more energy than you would usually. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
The freezing point of water can be dropped as low as 21 degrees Celsius. But that's to do with salt, apparently. Add salt to it and you can get water colder. Anyway,
Yeah. Because of the hydrogen bonds.
how do we get here? Vacuums.
Yeah, because of vacuums. I don't know, we were talking about it again. Because of, does water boil in a vacuum? We still have
yeah.
a lot of questions here.
Yeah, pressure. Well, the first few questions are always like really long ones that we go through in really massive
This is
detail.
true.
We go
Which
through
are?
about 2 questions in 2 hours and then the remainder in an hour.
Because of hydrogen bonds. Liquid water is more dense than it should be because the hydrogen bonding pulls the molecules closer than they would otherwise be. Ah,
Yeah,
there you go.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That.
That's very interesting.
That's what we just said.
Yeah, but it's because of the hydrogen bonds. That I didn't realize that part. Should I get my thing to hug? I'll be back.
Is that what we're doing? This is what this stream has become. We're both just chilling out with our friends. You know,
Look.
I've got my
what I
mum saying,
got.
best Christmas present ever for the minion. Probably
It's
true. I can't think of a
big-
better one.
It's a very bright peak that I can hold. Now this is science. Exactly, Jay. Exactly. So. When a gas rushes to fill a vacuum, how much force does it exert? Surely that depends on...
Depends
what-
on the pressure difference.
Yeah, it
and
depends on the pressure in the gas.
That's essentially it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, obviously, how much of the force you would feel depends also on how much gas there is, but that we don't consider that. Yeah,
Yeah. It's a
depends
bit
on
of
the
a
pressure difference.
Question. It's a bit of a nothing question because it's...
Yeah,
It's
it's
hard to-
essentially force and mass. So you'd want to be doing. So you'd need to know the pressure difference. You need to know how much force that equates to. I don't know off the top of my head. I can't be asked to calculate it. And then also how much acceleration would happen on the air would depend on what gas is the air is made of. Because at that point you're looking at force, mass, acceleration stuff.
Work done by an expanding gas. Time to fill cross-sectional area. There you go.
There you go.
And that, like,
Deal
all,
with
all
that.
of those, times those together, and you've got everything. But that is when it's, well, yeah, I guess that is what it does because it is expanding. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And how do you find the
Yeah.
work done? You have to do like a fucking, what's it called?
Bunch of
and like
stuff.
it's math. Anyway, what would happen if a glass of water were to literally be half empty, as in the air is replaced with a total vacuum? I'm pretty sure this is also a from the book that book Chef was taking out of. It's only a partial differential equation. Okay. Oh yeah, so you do have to do a integral over the entire area that it moves, right? Is that true? No, I put the book away. It's not there anymore. Pressure times the rate of change of volume plus the volume times the rate of change of pressure. These words, just as words, really confuse me.
Oh, I see. I'm guessing that the integral and
Pressure.
differentiation is in order to account for the fact that you're filling up the new container as time goes by, so the pressure difference between the two is changing. When I was thinking about it in my head, I was just thinking, like, you're in space, you've lost pressure, where how much force is it getting pulled out with? In which case you could take it as constant, so I'm presuming you wouldn't need to change it too much. Although it would still go down as the pressure in the cabin decreases. Anyway,
Well,
that's maths that we're not doing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about it. It's interesting, but it's gonna bore most people here anyway.
Yeah.
Both those rates are with respect to the opposite, I think. Sure. I don't know what that
Anyway.
means.
Air replace total
yeah.
vacuum.
So, I
Like
think, first of
nothing.
all, this depends on which side of the glass, first of all, is filled with a vacuum.
And how
So
big the
let's
glass
say-
is. And how much water's
Yeah.
in it.
Let's say it's like...
Oh no,
this,
because it's
right?
half. Never mind. Yeah,
we've got-
I'm gonna say if you're dealing with this as a closed system, nothing would visually happen.
Well, yeah. If it's a closed system, the water's not... Well, it depends, I guess.
No.
Depends. If it's a closed system, it depends on the tensile strength of the glass.
Okay, sure. But assuming an indestructible glass.
Assuming the glass can handle the pressure difference between outside and inside the vacuum, not to break. But yeah, if there's a cover here, the water's not necessarily going to go up or anything because the water's just going to still be at the bottom, right?
Yeah, the water is still
glass
heavier.
Glass
than
is strong.
nothing.
It depends on glass. Also, it very much depends on the shape of glass, right? But usually, like that round shape is actually quite strong. Definitely like here at the bottom, like these top parts are the parts that are less round in a way because they're just longer. So if you look at it in a closer way, it's more flat. If this is like the shape, right? So not much would happen. It would just be half water, half vacuum, right?
Yeah.
It would probably would it start boiling like up here probably? Chances are because
No, because
in a low pressure environment.
like some of the water would evaporate, but that would very quickly fill up and balance out the pressure.
True,
difference.
actually, yeah. But yeah, so that is what would happen. The water would evaporate, which would make the vacuum, which would just remove the vacuum real quick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Because it only
Now,
to evaporate up to the, as I was saying, the, I forgot what it was called already. The vapor pressure, that's the one. Up to that point, which is not high.
yeah,
it's
so
not-
it just needs to evaporate enough that there's like just a few particles that the pressure up here is not too high anymore, right? Is that the idea?
not too low. It just
Not
needs
too
to
low,
raise the
yes.
pressure enough to match the vapor pressure, which isn't a lot. And then it would do that, and then it
There you go.
would just sit there and do nothing.
Don't. Now, on the other hand, if the glass instead was like this, give me a second. That's not the right color. I want that. There we go. If the distribution was like this,
Oh yeah.
that's more interesting, and that's something that you can test out, but be very careful. If you have a bottle or anything, and it's like filled, you get like a bottle of beer. If you mash on it on the top, you will basically it will move the bottle itself down, and the water will like go up a bit, creating a tiny vacuum at the bottom, which will pull the water down and break the bottom of the bottom of the bottle. And that would shatter it would just basically shatter the bottle, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Very
it
good.
works with the glass as well. I'm gonna see if I can
Very
get like a good
interesting.
video of it, because it is very cool. See, Slow-Mo guys have a video of it. God, I haven't watched these guys in years.
Years.
I just want to watch the actual thing. Okay, there we go.
Don't we all?
There you go. So what's gonna happen here? So yeah. Oh god, it's so quick. I want to see it in even more slow motion. He's gonna hit it, which okay, wait. Let's go back a tiny bit. He hits it, right, creating a tiny little vacuum at the bottom. So we know this is vacuum because there's an entire layer of water above it, and there's no way the air can get down there, right? So there's a tiny vacuum at the bottom, creating like almost no pressure here. If we take a little to do this. Then I can draw on it. So there's a vacuum over here, which makes the pressure here very low. Pressure here is high, which creates forces pulling the water down, stronger than usual. You know, because gravity is just pulling down right, like here.
Yeah.
So the water tries to fill this void, right? It tries to fill it, and in doing so, kind of bumps into the bottom of the bottle, which this is what happens. It goes back down and it breaks. It just breaks the bottom clean off. There you go. Is there a better thing? Sometimes the entire fucking bottle smashes if you do it hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah. The general answer to Chef's question is the water gets sucked down. And then what happens afterwards depends on how strong the thing is in is. If it's a glass, you go and smash, probably.
Now, if if it is like here at the start, but there's no top on it, all that's gonna happen is air's gonna come down in it, assuming we're in the air and not like in a vacuum space.
Yeah.
And, like air's gonna come down in it. I don't know how strong it would be. Champ wrote out the entire fucking thing. So if Champ wants to calculate what the force it would be, go ahead.
Yeah, get back to us in 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, it might be strong enough. I don't know, and it will shake the water about a bit, for
Maybe
sure.
now.
It might even do a bigger splash. I don't know.
No splash, Captain.
What a reference. Yeah, there you go. I think that's all that will happen, right? It won't be too. It will be nice to look at probably, but I don't think it'll be that interesting.
No.
But also, I feel like I remember this from that What If book, which makes me think it will be more interesting. But I don't know.
Maybe. I feel like over such a large area, you're not going to get too much going on. So.
Oh, there you go. Literally, the next question is: would the effect be different if the bottom half were made empty instead of the top half? Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were
Already
doing
did.
that question.
No,
So yeah.
I literally didn't even read that. I was just
Oh.
thinking about it myself, because that's.
Yeah.
Like,
Well.
if you
Well
say
done.
half empty, you don't know which half, right? You never specified, so surely.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Correct. Anyway. Yeah. What's
there you
next?
go. Man, we've done like 2 questions already. Can you believe it?
Flying through it.
I'm gonna stop random music because random music is terrible. I hate it.
We Auld Lang Syne.
Drum-
Go on. We've
We're
not
not doing
had that
Old
yet.
Lang Syne. What do you mean?
Of course
I
we
don't-
are. It's New
I'm
Year.
not doing. It's not New Year. Okay, fine.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck it.
It's the first one of the new year.
Sure.
I won't be able to hear it, unfortunately. So whatever. I'll just pretend.
You were pretty well on time actually for a bit. Twice? I know it ended already. It ended already, Wee. It's done. It's done. It's done, Wee. It's done. Please. We're not gonna move Wise. We're gonna keep Wise. Our lovely friend. You can stop now. You can stop
reached
now.
the end.
You can stop now.
I reached the end and I stopped. It's
Wait,
fine.
are you wearing shorts today?
No. Brilliant.
Why do viruses and stuff always party in my damn throat? What's so fucking fun back there?
It's warm and moist.
This is actually true. Yeah, that is true. Also, that to all the dicks that have been there or whatever. I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere. Shall we go to the next? You know what? We're gonna do all the Wise questions. I'm gonna force Wise to do more, to get more work in for next time.
Sure.
Just gonna do
Literal erasure.
I recently discovered a concept called yassification. Could you please explain it through a demonstration? Wait, can you please explain yassification to us? Oh.
Hang on a sec.
Oh, Pog. There you go. Please explain it. Wait, we need to
That's it. Sorry, let me do another before and after. So you have here, and then me, okay, on this side,
yeah.
and then
okay.
get yassified. Oh shit! There we go.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can yassify myself. Okay, get ready. Is it doing anything? No?
I'm ready. Nope,
Okay,
nothing's
yassified.
happened.
No, it's so bad. I found one, but it wasn't very good. This one's the Grinch. Oh shit! I'm yassified. Look at
Well.
me! Look at me being a yassified Grinch.
There we
Oh
go.
my god! Look at my Grussy. Oh my god! Hello. Hello. Look at me sparkle. I'm so sparkly.
Perfect.
Should I do the rest of this episode as the yassified Grussy?
No.
I think I will. Just because of that, I think I will. There you go. It's so weird. Oh my god. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. Anyway, I hope that
trying to.
explained that to you, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Do 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 do. What do you mean through my hair? That's just what my hair looks like. It's just see-through there. That's just how it works. It's just how it works, Jay. That's how hair works. Surely you'd know that. Come on.
There we
now.
go. I've been yassified.
Pog? Is that when you had hair?
No.
Was your hair
weird.
actually red? Oh my god,
No.
that's pretty cool actually. Yeah,
we
don't
go.
say no. At least like suspend
No.
my disbelief. Come on.
Sorry,
Anyway.
I saw hair. Suddenly had a reaction.
I'm gonna go to a drum roll because that's interesting.
Sure. Oh,
Okay.
excuse me. That would be great listening.
Yeah. We're gonna make it like a 15-second drum roll. Right. So the next question will be, get excited in chat.
Oh.
It's gonna be. God, this is actually still a really long drum roll. I thought 15 seconds would be okay. That's toilet paper. Okay, we're going back to my normal face. Remove
I wonder if
toilet
any of
paper.
that actually came through on Discord. I did a great ooh
Oh yeah, I heard you. Most of the time.
most of the time. Cut out a fair bit, probably.
Oh, this is actually a really interesting question. Does a toilet paper roll have 1 or 2 holes? Wait,
One.
what would you? I would agree with you. Topologically, it has only 1 hole.
Hmm.
I want to check because I feel like, yeah, what they said was it poses an interesting conundrum between topology and spatial relativity, which I feel like you're gonna talk about your spatial relativity or something.
Fuck off, am I?
I don't know. You know about space and stuff, no? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Curious what they're getting at there.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I'm curious what they mean because from my point of view, this seems like a pretty simple question. Just saying, you've got a toilet paper roll, which has 1 hole, and is this one because it's a tube. Topologically, it's the same as a circle. It's the same as a torus, a donut. Yeah, the idea of topology is that you can, as long as you have something and you can bend it and shape it and move it around, as long as you don't break it, and you don't like remove a hole by squishing it, right? That's like the one thing you can't do. But other than that, you can move it around as much as you can. Now that's an interesting question, Chili, because it depends on a lot of different, because there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
Yeah, someone could have popped it.
Because I saw a video of someone about that actually. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Stand Up Maths, I think, who did it. They're really fun maths. Oh, there you go, stand-up maths. There you go. It was a really cool video. I love their channel. That guy's he's very funny. He makes very good, like, interesting math content. And yeah, the idea is because I think what it came down to was that it had, like, it depends on which degree, like, you have holes of a different level basically, and the fact that a balloon is empty inside makes it different dimensions. Yeah, that's a better word for it. A balloon is empty inside and gives it like an extra hole, like, which it doesn't have in a way, because if you poke a hole in a balloon, like, the idea is you've got a balloon, right? It's an orb. It's got a hole in it. If you poke a hole in it, so you add a hole, so you do +1 hole, and then you end up with just a sheet of plastic, right? A balloon, but that doesn't have any holes in it. So if you look at it, there's no holes in it. So somehow you came from an object that you thought originally wouldn't have a hole in it, because if you look at a balloon, it doesn't look like it has a hole in it, right? But you poke a hole in it, and it gets you to something that has 0 holes.
That's because it rips.
Yes. So somehow, by poking that one hole in it, you've gone from something less than 0 holes to 0 holes, right?
It's because it's deformed in the process.
Yeah, but
it becomes
topologically that doesn't change it.
Like, if you poke a hole into a balloon and it deflates but doesn't rip, then you still then all the air sponge still has 1 hole in it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a hole, because topologically you can expand that, you can change it into just a sheet still, which doesn't have a hole, because it's not encased around anything. Because it would be literally like a cup, which does
have a hole in it.
No, a cup does not have a hole. Topologically, it doesn't have a hole, because you can flatten it out into a perfect flat surface without ripping a new hole in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's hard to, like, do this without good visual illustrations, and everyone should go watch the video if you're interested. It's super interesting, and I just like, topology is really weird. I'll see if I can find you the video. If you want to go watch it afterwards, because it is super interesting. Where is it? I'll find it at some point. Oh, there we go. Why does the balloon have -1 holes? There you go, if anyone wants to watch afterwards. And I'll see if he has any, like, good ways of drawing it. There's not many illustrations. He does have a lot of, like... Oh yeah, there's, like, this whole thing of trousers having... How you can change topologically trousers into a shape that we will loop to in a minute. So without changing it, if you just, like... No, actually, yeah, if you tie them like this... Just bear with me. This is topologically the same shape as trousers. Which is a bit weird. But yeah, and that is, like, these... he's got, like, one of these balloons with, like, a hole through. And that was, like, a point of, like, the different kinds of... it's about higher dimensional holes. Because you've got different kinds of holes and stuff. Because you can draw, like... This hole is, like... There's a hole through this 3D balloon. That has, like, inside the balloon you have a hole. You can't even fucking see it on my screen. There we go. Inside this, you've got, like, a hole here. If you follow along the inside, right, you have, like, a tunnel, kind of, but it's, like, encased. And then in here, like, outside, you've got a hole that you can go through. and those are like 2 areas you can draw a circle around. I don't remember exactly what it means, but anyway, there's like different kinds of holes, and different dimensions of holes, which is why in the end, I don't remember exactly what the conclusion was, but I feel like in the end the balloon didn't actually have -1 holes. It was just, if you're poking a hole into something, you're changing it's like you're changing the dimension of one of the holes or something. I think
Yeah,
is what
because
it
in 3D
ended
the
up as.
balloon has a hole, but when you flatten it out and make it 2D, you've suddenly combined a hole with a non-hole to make a non-hole.
Yeah,
So-
maybe. I don't know. There was something about it. He had like a thing, and I can't find it anymore. He had like a little graphic about it, but I don't know, it's hidden somewhere. It's like even and odd holes. And then there's like Euler, then every shape has like an Euler characteristic, which is like the even amount of holes minus the odd amount of holes. Anyway, go watch the video. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, actually, I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking of Dimension Talk got me thinking about it as a wormhole type of thing. Because the example for wormhole is you have a piece of paper, you fold it, you stab a hole through it. If you then unfold that, you have
It's
2
two
holes in
holes.
your 2D surface.
True.
So when you're dealing with dimensions like that, you seem to need an extra hole between each one in order to make it work in a higher dimension. I don't have spare paper, otherwise I would do it.
I do. And it's already got pre-punctured holes in it.
Nice.
Perfect. So I can just do this. Boom. There you go. So at this point, this thing has got 1 hole. But also, because I'm putting these together, we've got a little hole over here. Does that make an extra hole? Does that make it even again? Anyway.
Well, if you folded
Topology
it
is
flat, it
super
wouldn't be there.
Topology is a super interesting thing because it feels so useless in a way, but it's also like just super fun. Because it ends up being just classification of things, a classification of shapes, right? Which is, it's a very mathematical like way of looking at things, which is not very tactile, I guess, in a way. But I don't know, I think it's very fun. And like, it's just very cool to look at things. But yeah, in the end, this toilet paper roll, you can perfectly just squish it down, right? And then like enlarge it again. And it would be topologically the same as, say, a donut. Or as, say, this hairband, right? Because it's got 1 hole, and it's got an edge. And that's all that matters, right? It's the same as if this paper only had 1 hole in it. Topologically, it's the exact same thing. You've got one hole here, and everything else is just material that you can shape and change. But yeah, it's weird because, like I said earlier, if you look at a glass doesn't actually have a hole. Because it has a bottom. And which means it has, like, you can just go anywhere along, and you can go along onto this bottom, and then inside, so you have you have 2 sides of it. You have no holes, which just makes it a plane. Or like any shape without a hole. I don't know, it's very interesting.
I don't know. These whole systems seem very required on what is it? A very stable system, essentially. They seem to be reliant on gravity and not having massive pressure differences that's going to throw everything around.
What?
Like if you took a glass of water into space, you'd find very quickly it got empty. In which
Yes.
case, you'd say it's got a hole in it.
I wouldn't say if a glass is empty, it has a hole in it.
No, but if you're trying to keep things in it, it's got a hole in it. Like,
Well, I mean, it's not specifically, because if I do this, it's empty, but it doesn't have a hole in it, does it? It's just...
no, because
Open
everything
at the
came
top.
out of the hole.
But there's no hole it's coming out of, it's coming out of the top.
Well, yeah, it is.
But in the end, it's semantics, and it ends up being about the definition of a whole. Which, yeah.
Anyway,
No, well, yeah, that's what you'd say, Isaac, but topologically, there is no hole in a cup. A cup doesn't have a hole.
no. If you go and flip to blah 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 that word, then you can manipulate anything into not having a hole that it does have.
That's not true. You can't
it
manipulate
is.
anything into having a hole that does not have.
Seems like you can.
Yeah, exactly. It's a carefully shaped plate for drinking off. That is exactly what it is, actually. A cup and a plate are topologically exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
Well,
true. Yeah.
a car and a car with a hole in the roof, topologically the same.
No.
Yep.
No, because the car with a
Yep.
hole in the roof has a hole in the
Yep.
roof.
Yep.
Which is one extra hole.
Yeah, but
so-
if you make it 2D, then it's the same.
But that's not how topology works. It's not about being
Right.
2D.
It's as practical.
Yeah, a mug has a hole in it. This is true.
It's just as practical.
But the hole... Yeah, but it's not about practicality. It's about math. The only hole in a mug is right here. It's in the mug part. I think I have a mug here, actually. Do I have a mug? No, I got it. I put it downstairs. Never mind. The only hole in a mug is this hole. Right here. Because this is not a hole. This one, however, is. So you can deform like this entire part just back into just a torus, into a donut, making it yet another thing as equal to this. This is a mug, topologically speaking. Which, practically, it's not as practical as a mug. I can't put my drink in here, but doesn't mean that it topologically isn't
Yeah.
equal to a mug.
Topologically, the handle of a mug is a mug.
Yes. Well, it depends if the
No?
handle is broken off and it's like cut, and if it's just like this part.
No, the handle of a mug
If it's just
is
like
a mug.
like this part of the handle, then it isn't, because then it's
No.
just a a plain piece. But if it's like if it has like a part of the mug still like attached to it.
Yeah. It's as much a mug as you and me. Move on.
Well, I mean, no, because humans
No,
have holes.
I'm saying mug as in the insult.
Well, yeah, but you say that, but the amount of holes humans have is also very interesting. I'm pretty sure Vsauce made a video on it at some point. Because you could say we have in no way one hole, right? Because we have one hole that goes in through your mouth and it comes out the other end. But then again, that same hole we have like our nose, which is like connected.
Yeah, nose to ears.
We've got like the hole. Your
Lungs.
the lungs aren't actually doing anything, Jay, because your lungs are just lung, which ends up being just a mug that you can deform into removing. Well, yeah, okay, we're assuming the flaps that close. Okay, we're assuming we're not talking about balloon holes, right? We're not talking about holes that are just encased. Because those are negative holes, as we noticed, which makes them odd holes, I guess. Which so that way you do -1 for your Euler number. I think that was the idea of it in the end. Maybe, I'm not sure. Who knows? So we're talking about like full-on through holes, right? But like if you have your nose, which is directly connected to your mouth, so you've got one hole for your mouth and then 2 holes for your nose that are connected in like this way, I guess. They're also connected to your ears, but we're just gonna ignore that for a bit, because there's also like a thing that, you know, it's not straight, it's not directly connected to the outside, because there's a membrane in between it. So technically that's not a through hole, I guess. But this is a bit confusing, because how many holes does this thing have, right? How many holes does a tea tube have? What are you eating? Wheat?
I figured I had time.
Yeah, but what are you eating? I just want to know what you're eating.
Chocolate biscuits.
Okay. Okay. So the question is, how many holes does a tea tube have? I don't remember the answer to this, but we need to... No, actually, I think the answer is 2 in the end.
Wait, what? What are we talking about now?
So a tea tube. Yeah, exactly. It's like a pair of pants,
I see.
right? So, which actually is literally shown in this video. I was talking about, that's the animation I showed you earlier.
Wow, so
pair of
people
pants
are
has
actually
2
quite omni-holed
What do you mean?
in that you choose one entrance, there's many an exit. And they all split off into 2 at varying points.
Not always, but yes. This is the one, like, the main digestive tract.
Well, they
And
better.
I'm right now speaking about the mouth as well, which technically is actually, like, this is connected to the rest as well.
Yeah, so you got like 1,
there's
2,
another hole
3,
here.
4, 5, 6, 7. I'm up to
Yeah,
7.
but those aren't all through holes.
Yeah, they are.
Like full-on holes, which is
Yeah, they are.
interesting. Yeah, we forgot the exit part. Which, yeah. Anyway, if we talk about a tea tube, you can mold it so that those... I did draw a giraffe. You can mold it so that the 2 holes at the side, and I'm calling them holes not as in the same holes as we were calling earlier, the 2 exit points at the side, if you put those at the top, and then expand the bottom part of it, you've got 2 parts at the top with like a middle part, like a middle parting, and then 1 hole at the bottom, which if you just remove that side, you have 1 part here, 1 part here, and then 1 middle part, which ends up just being 2 holes, right? Which is exactly what that drawing of the pants was like. Which is the interesting part about the drawing of the pants is trousers have 2 holes, just like I just said, right? You have the two leg holes, and then the top part you can actually just cut off all the excess stuff. So if you just cut off all the excess stuff, you end up just having the 2 holes of the 2 leg parts, right? But if you grab those 2 leg parts and you like sew them together, you'd think you'd remove a hole, but somehow that has the exact same amount of holes, and it still has 2 holes, which is what that animation I showed you earlier was actually trying to show you. So if you look at like a good animation, here you go. So these pants are sewn together, right? If you remove all the excess area, we end up having these 2 rings that if you just fold them around and you expand them, you extend the area again, bam, you end up with having trousers again.
Yeah, but that's dumb as fuck. That's
It's
just a
not, though.
manipulation. It's a manipulation of dimensions. It's ridiculous. It's like the proof of 1 + 1 = 2 or something like that.
But it's not. This is...
No, 1 + 1 = 3 or something like that. There's some weird proof you can do where
Here's
that
all
comes out
drawn.
wrong.
No, it literally isn't. This is topologically...
No, it's
Trousers
bullshit.
and trousers
Bullshit.
tied together have the same amount of holes. You
No,
need
they
to
don't.
watch the video. They talk. It's a 30-minute video.
Nope.
It's very interesting. Watch the video.
Nope.
It's very. They talk about
Nope.
it extensively.
Nope. Nope, not
And
having it.
He shows like a bunch of different animations at the end that people like his,
No, it's wrong.
patrons have made. It's literally
Wrong.
true.
No, it's wrong.
Why is the question
feel-
so
if you-
yassification? Good question.
It's wrong. If you filled those looped up trousers with anything and tried to pour it out, it would have one hole to come out of. Case
That's
closed.
Not true.
Yeah, it is.
Because it has 2 holes to come out of, in a way.
No. In the end, it
but
would come out of
but
one.
also doesn't matter because if you loop them up, you have a hole in the middle. You have one hole at the top, which is
Right,
connected
here's a
to
question.
the inside, right?
Here's a
And then you've
question.
got one through hole down here.
Because that shape, right, is equivalent to, you can get, like, milk cartons that have a gap between the handle and the thing, but milk still goes into that. How many holes does that have? Because by this logic,
I
it
don't
would
know what
have
you're
two.
talking. Wait. Go back. Sorry. What?
So-
What are you talking about?
Milk cartons, right? The plastic ones, where you
I
have
don't
a
know
handle on them.
But sure. Okay, no, I do. Okay, no, I do know what you mean. Yes, and the
You-
handle
any
is
kind
just
of carton.
hollow.
Yeah, and so milk
Yes.
goes into the handle as well. So,
Okay.
or any liquid.
I'm gonna remove some of these. So I can
That-
draw that.
By the logic of those trousers, would have 2 holes. Is that correct?
Yes, because it is equivalent. I think
Well, it
so.
clearly
I'm just
does,
gonna draw.
because everything comes out of one hole. That's
Okay,
what I'm
but those
saying
2
with the
holes
trousers.
aren't connected to the space where the milk is.
Yeah, they are.
No, not both of them are connected to where the milk is. Because you've got one hole here, okay, then here's the milk. And then you've got the second hole is here. Which is outside. You can stick your finger through that. Would you not say that is a hole, the handle? Surely that is a hole, because if you look at it... But also, yeah, because it's like a mug, right? A mug has... The handle of a mug is a hole, right? You would say
Okay,
that.
so if you treat that as a hole,
Yes.
then how is the hole on top now a hole? Now that's effectively a glass if you've counted
It's
that as
a hole, well, but it's not a glass because it goes around here. And because this part here is hollow, that is the difference. Because this hole that we've made through has made a second hole the other way around actually as well. Which is a bit weird, but you can reshape this into the 2-ring thing, which obviously has 2 holes, without cutting anything open or without doing anything weird.
This is stupid. Next question.
That is-
Topology is
that-
stupid.
That is what topology does, and I fucking love it. It's really fun, and if anyone is interested in this, please check out like these videos.
God,
I
what a
think it's
maths-
super interesting.
No wonder the mathematicians are all so weird.
They're very weird. This is true. But yeah, topology. I fucking adore topology. It's super fun and it's just super wacky because you have this crazy shit. Yeah, exactly. It hurts your brain in a good way. Exactly. I
No,
love
it doesn't. It's stupid.
It's very fun. Okay, let's do one more question then. Let's do one more good question. We've done topology. We ate it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get now. I didn't change the time.
You know
of
what?
this-
What they
this
should have
drum.
done, right, with topology? Use a different word than whole. Come up with their own word
True.
because it's clearly a different thing.
Or you should change your vocabulary because fuck
No.
you.
I'm
Asteroids.
pretty sure mine
This'll
has
be
been
fun.
here longer historically than the other.
but does that make it more correct?
Yes.
Because all that topology has
I've-
done is
look.
define what a hole is, which will cut out some
I
definitions
have
of
provided
hole.
numerous examples that if you saw them in public, you would describe as a hole that topologically are clearly not holes. Unless you have a different word that you would use for the hole in the roof of a car,
But the
topology
hole
needs
in
to
a
change
roof
its
in a
words.
car is a hole. The hole in a cup isn't a hole.
What? The hole in the roof of the car isn't going all the way through.
But it
You
is making a hole into a new area. You can't change the material to not have that hole there, and you can't just change that, like move that
But
hole
how is
around
that topologically
to
a hole?
form the other car.
But how does that become a hole topologically? It's still a
Because you've
thing.
taken
It's
a
essentially
car
yeah, and you've put a hole
and
in the
you've
top.
punctured a hole in it.
Yeah, in the top only, not all the way through.
Yeah, but that has made a new hole because you can't change.
Yeah, it's
you
made
can't
it an
change the
equivalent.
shape.
Yeah, there's now
Yeah.
there's now an equivalent hole in the car as there is a glass. You could
No,
drink
that's not
out of
true.
that car.
That's not true because what are you doing? Okay, what is the equivalent of the car then without the hole for the glass?
Zero
What are you
holes.
putting the hole
What?
in? What are you putting the hole in? Okay, so say you have a car and you put a hole in it,
Yeah.
and you get a car with a hole. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
you're comparing the car with a hole to a glass. What is the comparison with a car without the hole then?
A car
that
without
you-
a hole. That's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah,
The point
okay,
I was
no.
making is that the word hole is clearly with the usage that I have, and topology is wrong.
No, but the car.
That's what I was saying.
If you puncture a hole in it, it is a hole in the top of the car. Because you can't change the material. You can't
Well,
change
if you're saying
the
a hole
shape
in
of
the
it.
top of the car,
Yes.
then that's different. Like, you could say that there's a hole in the top of this glass, because then you're taking a 2D slice of it.
No, it's not anything to do with the 2D slice of it. It's just you've taken this car and you've made a hole in.
So if you're saying there's a hole in the
but it's
in the
because
car,
the car is already hollow.
so is a glass.
No, it's not. But okay, if you're taking a glass bottle that is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you take the lid off.
And you take the lid off, then you're adding a hole, and we're back to the whole balloon thing.
So now it's a
You're
hole.
adding a hole. Yes, you're adding a hole. but
After
the
all this
hole-
saying that it doesn't have a hole.
No. Here's the thing. You're adding a hole, but it doesn't have a hole, and that's the weird thing. And that is why a balloon has -1 holes.
That
Because
is why
because
it's stupid.
There's one less hole than 0 holes.
No. That is why it's stupid.
No, that's just topology.
Let's move on to
That's
asteroids.
just topology. That is
No.
just what it. That's just how it works.
Why it's stupid.
It's not. That's not stupid. That is just what it is.
What do you think, Minion?
It's stupid.
See,
That's
case
not
closed.
That's actually not the how the minions sounded. That's actually very obvious. Your voice.
I've taught this one to speak.
Yeah,
so it's
it
picked up
spoke
my
to me
accent.
earlier when you gave it the headset, but
It's
it didn't
it's
sound
picked up my
anything
accent.
like that. No, it didn't sound anything like that. It was clearly
It
that was
was
clearly
so
you
annoyed.
right now.
It's so annoyed by topology that it had the
Oh.
screaming.
Oh,
Isn't that right, Minion?
how do you think people mining asteroids and stuff and planets is going to change things? Will it give space more investment? Do you think?
There's essentially infinite resources in asteroids. There you go. That's how it changes things.
Okay,
Goodbye, material wants, needs.
material.
We now have all of it. Goodbye, material Elon Musk. Material Musk. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. It depends on which asteroids we've like. Okay.
If we're mining
the-
asteroids, I don't think that's relevant.
is it? Isn't it?
No,
Because we can't just
because
mine any asteroids.
I'm presuming if you can mine one asteroid effectively, you can mine them all.
Yes, but we need to get to them. Like, okay, are you talking about like in the asteroid belt in our solar system?
Any asteroids. By the time you're mining asteroids, when you send them up, you would have them programmed to build more asteroid miners.
Okay.
And
I guess.
There would be
yeah.
no other way to make it economically viable. So that's why I suppose this investment question comes in. If you're going to mine asteroids, you would need to send up. Well, as you're sending it up, you would need to have the machines doing it capable of building more of themselves in order to both go to new asteroids, and well, yeah, to continue the mining essentially.
Okay.
Because yeah, otherwise you would send up a rocket to mine one asteroid. Not practical unless we're like entirely at a stage where we're so desperate for materials that is worth it. Like you could go to a large asteroid and get a lot, but economically viable amounts, not in the current state of things. We need some kind of collapse.
We can send one rocket to just go to an asteroid and go to the next, and then keep going for like a long time, and at some point come back. It's like fully loaded up.
Yes and no, but like, how big would that rocket have to be? Like,
well, maybe it can like come back and then like just drop it.
Even then, like, you'd be better off dropping the entire asteroid, basically. Like,
maybe that's what they should do. Just send
like,
rockets out to like change the course of an asteroid to go into Earth instead of
consider like the largest rocket that we've sent up.
Yeah.
And would that contain enough material in any way to make it any kind of difference to anything? You'd like what? Maybe you wouldn't get much. Like, I don't know how big an average rocket is. Is it like 5 stories tall? If you consider how much iron that actually is. I don't know really how big they are. They're quite big, but they're also quite narrow.
The thing is, most of that is the like engine that drops.
Yeah,
off,
and all of that needs to be filled up with fuel.
Yeah,
how much?
The idea is how much of it is actually still there when it's
really what you
like
need
orbit
would be, not only would you need to build more miners up there, you would also need to build containers for the stuff that you're sending back to Earth while you're up there, because you can't launch them into space in the first place. You just wouldn't have enough thrust.
Is this
you might
a viable thing?
Is it a viable thing? Yeah, it's necessary.
How soon do you see us doing this?
I don't. But it's perfectly plausible and within our technological remit. It's just not economically viable at the moment. And probably won't be economically viable until it's too late to do it properly.
Surely it would be worth the investment, though, wouldn't it?
No.
Why not?
No, I don't think so. Because space travel at the moment costs a shit ton. This kind of thing would be like trillions of dollars to set up.
Okay,
you never get trillions of dollars for iron. Certainly not within any kind of lifetime. Considering how long it would take to mine it, yes, you would end up with, and
how
especially,
long would it take?
well, also I don't know, a long time. Also, bear in mind, well, it depends, because I'm saying it's not viable economically at the current technological level, and so until an enhancement in technological level comes along, it's still not viable. And if that advancement comes, then it will take a lot less time. Essentially, it could. Because it's a kind of process which it can accelerate exponentially, because as you're going up and mining, you're building more of yourself.
Yeah, you're building more, so you've got
go
more.
To another 2,
yeah.
Then you go to 4, and yeah. So, in theory, it might go quite quickly. But the thing to bear in mind is also what you're doing economically. If one person does this, spends however many trillions of dollars to set it up, and then the good that you want to trade at the end of it is, say, iron, which you're gathering from the asteroids. Suddenly you have an infinite amount of iron. So how much does iron cost now? Not much. Scarcity is needed to have it to have a price. So you'd need to artificially limit how much iron you're sending back.
Is that a problem?
It's a problem for someone
who has access to iron. Is that a problem? That's only a problem to rich people.
It's a problem to the investor, which is why it's not going to.
But at that point, you have the materials to make infinite of those miners, which if they can mine iron, they can mine anything. So
Yeah, but
why would you care to? At that point you have infinite material.
So who's buying?
So
How does the person who
so at
invested in
that
get-
point,
get
surely
their money back?
at that point, surely there's no cost to raw material anymore, and we get to communism.
Yeah, which is why no one's going to invest and do it, because they lose that money. They don't get it back. No one does that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Such as
Exactly.
cocaine. True. Where are the cocaine? Are there any cocaine asteroids?
In an infinite universe, yes.
Is the
Just not
universe
enough.
infinite?
No. No. I said no. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Our universe isn't. Space beyond the universe, potentially. Depends if you believe in a multiverse or not. If you do, yes. If you don't, no. And you should, probably. It's entirely plausible that
It's very plausible. It's probably more plausible than not, right? Because it's.
Yeah.
But then again, that's
depends
once
on
again
theory.
going off of the idea of infinity.
Yeah.
which
It depends
If the
what
universe
theory you
isn't
go for.
infinite, then how would, why would there be more? You know.
Yeah, like it depends what theory you go on for multiverse, to be honest. If you
That's
go
right.
on,
If it's your weird inside a black hole thing.
yeah, if it's that, then no, because this universe would be as large as it is, as our universe is, as in including the unobservable parts. Whereas if you go as like you have essentially this big blank area, and this universe came from the Big Bang, and is expanding within that, and yet all around that is more empty space with possible more Big Bangs happening elsewhere.
What if
That
those
could
two
be it.
collided?
Universal collisions.
Is that a thing? I'm sure people have theorized about that.
Like, if you go on this idea of multiverse like that, you could treat it essentially as an ever expanding system. Like you have solar system, you have galaxies, you have galaxy clusters, you have the universe. So you could see it the same way, and you have galactic collisions. So why not have universal collisions? But it just goes up in order of magnitudes and how unlikely it is to have, as in how much time there is between each one happening.
Yeah.
So, but then also, expansion of the universe speeding up, would that prevent it? Not necessarily, because that's we presume that that's a within universe thing. If that were also happening in the spaces between these, say, separate universes, yeah.
But
If
are
that
the
was happening-
spaces between those universes also?
Yeah, exactly. If those were also
or are
expanding,
they not? Are those
well, you would presume not, unless.
So is it this is
Unless
the
the stuff
edge of our
was there.
universe? It's moving that outwards, and then
It
here's
depends
another
whether
part.
you think that whether you went with the presumption that the dark matter and dark energy came from the Big Bang as well, or was that always there and the Big Bang has just added normal matter to the region where that was, and because it's not interacting with it, it's just staying put and we're passing through it? Or rather, the dark matter is interacting gravitationally with the normal matter, as is dark energy, but the dark energy isn't getting moved around in the same way that dark matter is, in the same way that dark matter forms part of the galaxies and goes around with it. Dark energy might not, and might just be permeating the universe entirely, causing the expansion everywhere equally, because that's what's happening. And so that could permeate the background multiversal sheet, as I'm going to call it, which is forcing the multiple universes further and further away as it continues to expand. Interesting. Entirely speculation. Very interesting, though. That's
Yeah.
the point. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Right.
Wouldn't
I
bring
feel
enough
like
stuff back to Earth, turn it into a black hole.
at some point, if you have enough stuff, but also you wouldn't get enough stuff to Earth without other problems before it turns into a black hole, surely?
Yeah. At that point,
Like
you've
you
just
need
made it bigger.
so much
Thing is,
mass in such a
I'm not
concentrated
actually-
area.
Things I'm
become a
not
black hole.
actually sure if just putting a whole
Stuff
bunch of
together
stuff
is enough.
together makes a black hole, because they're made
Yeah.
because no, it wouldn't, because a star has, when it collapses and becomes a black hole, if anything, it's losing mass, because of course it is. Part of it gets blown away. The reason a
Yeah.
black hole gets made is because the star expands and expands and expands, and then suddenly everything stops and all the outer layers shoot in like at sizable fractions of the speed of light, and all that force hitting each other together is what forces all the molecules within it into a black hole. The easier example is neutron star, because that is like actually something that can be reasonably visualized, where you overcome the boundaries between atoms and you just smash together essentially protons and neutrons. The force of them hitting each other is enough to, or rather, neutrons and electrons, I should say. No, just neutrons. They just get force smashed together by all the outer layers coming in, everything pressing and pressing and pressing and forcing each other down, hitting each other as hard as it possibly can until the repulsive force of the atoms is overcome, and bam, neutrons, protons and electrons fuse into neutrons. Everything is smushed together like that, and you can have a big ball of neutrons. Black hole is just you go even further and you overcome the barriers between the neutrons, and it becomes a singularity, theoretically. So, yeah, just adding more mass to something isn't enough to make a black hole. You need a sizable amount of energy forcing everything together as well. Yeah. So, yeah, just bringing enough stuff back, no, wouldn't turn us into a black hole. Because you can, I'm trying to think, like, because there are stars far heavier than most things. Like, I can't remember what the biggest star is. I think, well, there's a load of them, and they're massive as fuck. So, well,
So
actually,
to
just look
form
at,
a black hole, basically, it comes down to you need a lot of mass, but also a lot of pressure. In the end, right? And just a lot of force
yeah, because essentially what
compacting it into, because the point of a black hole is not specifically that it's got a lot of mass, it's more that it's got a lot of mass in a very tiny area.
yeah,
And
because there are heavier objects than some black holes which exist. Essentially what
white line
happens is,
there.
yeah, you have the core of the star, and then you have, like, say, the outer layer of the star, very evenly spread out. And there's the pressure that goes like that from fusion happening in the star, and that forces everything out. And then you also have, say, well, the gravity of the star. Let's say that that's a very outer layer of it, which is pulling everything back in again. And all of that is being pushed out by the fusion in the middle, and the gravity is pulling everything back in. And for most of the star's life, those are equal. As a star reaches the end of its life and starts fusing heavier elements, this force in the middle becomes stronger than the forces in the outside, which is why they expand. So red giant phase is because this is now fusing heavier elements, releasing more energy, and the gravitational forces is now being overcome. And then fusion suddenly stops, and the only force that's there is the gravitational forces. And all these outer layers are now going to shoot in at incredible high speeds. In they go, nothing stopping them. So you now have all of this smashing into each other with more and more energy. Does it need to be a certain minimum density to form a black hole? No. There's a minimum mass of the star, which I think is about 2.5 times the mass of the sun, to make a black hole. But that's it. not really worried about density because it's more to do with the crushing forces coming in. Because these outer layers hitting it, so everything that's now been shot out from the star is now coming in, and it's all flooding in as like, and it accelerates to, as I said, a sizable fraction of the speed of light. So it has a massive amount of energy, and all of that is now crushing into the center, forcing all these central particles in the core together, and then boom, there you go. There's your black hole from everything pressing together. So essentially, the density comes from the smashing of the objects together. These objects, to begin with, were no more dense than stars and any other star. So yeah, that's all that has to happen. It's just, yeah. So yeah, you do need a minimum density, but black holes, the point of them is that they have infinite density. Neutron star is the easier one to look at, where you're just as dense as atomic nuclei, which is very dense, but that's all that you have to reach to get them. But to do that, it's the same process. It's just not as energetic as making a black hole. It's still the same. That forces in here get cancelled out, and now everything is shooting in very, very quickly. So, like, there was the scare story, you may remember, when they were doing Higgs boson in the particle collider, of they're going to collide particles and they're going to make a black hole. That happened, because that's the same general principle as what happens. You collide particles together at very high speeds, and they fuse, essentially. And if they keep doing that, you get a neutron star or a black hole. It wasn't a concern for us because you need a lot more, and you need a lot more sustained, well, not sustained, but you need a lot more pressure. So, yeah, it was very exciting. But yeah, that's it. It's not something we would need to worry about.
So this thing Chili's talking about, black hole born sans a supernova. What I can see about it is basically there was a star that just kind of disappeared without it going supernova.
Oops.
It's a red supergiant measured to have a constant brightness between it was measured between 1999 and 2005. And then between 2005 and 2008, the star faded in most of the visible light region while increasing its output at a wavelength of 3.6 micrometers near the near-infrared region. In 2008, it had a slow outburst that appears to have lasted a number of months, but there is no evidence of a supernova. By the end of 2009, the visible output had faded, with the infrared output slowly increasing, but never reaching full brightness of the original star. In 2015, the star was observed with the Hubble telescope, Large Binocular Telescope, and the Spitzer Space Telescope. No observations supporting a supernova were made, and no observations of the star in the optical region were made. Rather, measurements showed an emission in the near-infrared, but 5 magnitudes fainter than the star had before its outburst in 2008. But the thing is, I didn't read the entire part above it, but they don't even mention the fact that it is a black hole or not.
No, that just sounds like
a star just died.
A star died and became a dead star. Red dwarf. Not red dwarf, brown dwarf. Not brown dwarf, white dwarf. That's the one. Got there eventually. Yeah. Like, I don't see how it could happen without a supernova.
I mean, there's a whole thing above it that I just kind of skipped, so chances are it is in there. But like that was called a traditional primer on black hole, supernovae, and red giants. So I just kind of skipped it because I assume it's not going to be information about this one, right? And so I went, this is what's so special about this research. So I read that, and that's it. And then there's like another theory on black hole formation. And then scientists think that a fraction of massive stars from a black hole form a black hole without a supernova. But like, this goes from, yes, there was this star that we observed had a brightness, went through some stages, and then disappeared. And now we think that maybe if there's big stars, they could be black holes. Like, but we don't. There's nothing in this says we looked at this and now in the place there is a black hole here. It's like what?
Okay, some recent observations may provide evidence supporting a theory that some large stars can transform into black holes without the supernova explosion usually associated with them. And then there's a citation on that. Where does that go to? The search for failed supernovae with the large binocular telescope, confirmation of a disappearing star. Let's go to that article. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We present Hubble Space Telescope imaging confirming the optical disappearance of the failed supernova candidate identified by them, this 25 solar mass red supergiant. Okay, so it's heavy enough that you would expect it to form a black hole. Blah, 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 disappeared. That bit there sounded like the bit that you read. So I guess they copied and pasted that. Where's the actual article?
I just copied and pasted what?
Oh no,
the title
PDF,
Chile
published
said,
version.
Like, I found one now.
PDF, published version. What do they propose happen to it in here? Actually, let's Control F, black hole. Okay, there we go. They have a few mentions of it. 19, in fact. The event is consistent with the ejection of the envelope of a red supergiant in that time. And the late time emission could be powered by fallback accretion onto a newly formed black hole. I see. So essentially what they are proposing that the light they're detecting from it now is the light that's emitted by the accretion disk of a black hole, which is essentially a load of material that orbits around a black hole. And as it orbits around, it creates a lot of friction and heat, which emits these colors, which is what they think they're seeing. So, so their proposal here is, however, it is expected that some fraction of massive... supernova surveys for the deaths of massive stars search for a sudden brightening of a source. So that's them searching for dead stars by looking for supernova. However, it is expected that some fraction of massive stars experience a failed supernova, forming a black hole without a luminous supernova. While this idea is most widely accepted for very high mass stars at lower metallicity, i.e. those that haven't made much iron, evidence has recently emerged suggesting that failed supernova may also occur in red supergiants with solar metallicity, i.e. iron, similar to a star that we would normally have, well, the sun that we do have. When black holes are formed by fallback on the thing of a successful supernova, the mass distribution of black holes and neutron stars are continuous because there is no natural mass scale for the amount of fallback. Whatever. Okay, brilliant. Show me more. Resulting black hole mass is to do with the helium core, naturally producing the observed gap between neutron star and black hole mass distributions, blah, 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 black hole masses. From a pair of merging black holes, very interesting. Ooh, that would be interesting. Maybe that could be it. The formation of a black hole has never been observed. Of course it hasn't. Some stars likely collapse to form black holes without significant transients. However, a failed supernova in a red supergiant likely leads to a visible transient, which I'm guessing is a supernova or something similar. The late time emission could be powered by fallback. Yes, okay, we read that bit. When the supernova explosion energy is leading to black hole remnants, there is always a region of parameter space that leads to, yes, more on accretion disks. Okay, summary and conclusions. Perfect. This lies directly within the mass range of the missing red supergiant supernova progenitors and high core compactness identified in theoretical models as likely to give rise to failed supernova events and direct black hole formation. Interesting. So, reading this and paraphrasing everything they've said and taking the overall meaning from it, is that apparently roughly 25 solar mass red supergiants are thought to be common occurrences to fail in their supernova attempt and just form black holes without one. Why? I didn't find, but there we go. That
It's
may
just-
be somewhere in this article.
Yeah, maybe they don't even know why.
No, I don't think that was part of their study. I think they were just
I
using
think their
this
study
as,
is just the fact that they've seen
like,
one star that disappeared, and one way to explain the light that they see afterwards is
Yeah,
to maybe
I
say
mean,
it's a black hole.
the thing is that like scientific papers like this, they don't waste time going through the background. They're saying, okay, this is a known thing. This is an observation we've made trying to see this thing. Like, it's not like when you write a paper for university where you have to fill out all the background information for it as well. When you actually write a paper that's being published in a journal, you don't need that stuff. You just say, here's the commonly accepted theory that we're testing. You don't need to give any details about why for it. You just say, here's this, here's the test we've done to confirm or that or whatever, and here's our outcome. There have not been... Oh, interesting. No evidence has directly shown that black holes can form without a preceding supernova event, but the researchers point out indirect evidence such as no observations of high-mass stars over 17 solar masses going supernova, which is, I agree with the following statement, that is unusual. If there are a significant number of core collapses that do not go supernova, it could help explain the gap between the observed masses of neutron stars and black holes. Yes, that is fair, because what that's saying essentially is that black holes are much heavier than neutron stars, which is what you'd expect because it takes a heavier star, but the gap is higher than you would expect because a lot of material gets lost in a supernova. And if it turns out that these black holes are not going supernova, all that material would be in the black hole, making
it's
them on
not
average
losing as
heavier.
much. I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Some evidence suggests that the massive star formation rate may exceed the supernova rate. I can't comment on that. The detection of gravitational waves due to the merging of two black holes is likely to require the existence of a black hole that failed to go supernova.
I read that line earlier as well.
Yeah, I am passing on that one. I would presume that would be because of the required mass to be detected, but I'm not sure. Or alternatively, it could be to do with that happening and maybe, I guess maybe a supernova happening. So for that to happen, let's think about that. So you would need two large stars to be in a binary system and both of them to go black hole. If you run under the presumption that the bigger one would die first, which it would because they live less long, if that went supernova, it could potentially disrupt the other star, I'm guessing? Like, somehow, maybe? Could ruin things? Don't know. But maybe the presumption here is that it doesn't go supernova and therefore they can remain in their stable binary system. And then when the other one goes into a black hole, their orbit gradually decays and they collide. Interesting. Good to know. But I don't have much more to say on it. What is this one? I can have a look at the remaining articles. There's actually an image of... What's this a picture of?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh, this
In
is a
the
picture
meantime.
of the disappeared star.
Fog.
Let me just quickly
Oh yeah, I did see that as well, actually.
get rid of all
Is
of
it
my drawing. It's from NASA.
is it this?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I got it first. Fuck you. Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What's this one?
In the
Collapsing
meantime,
star
while we
Earth.
is looking at things, this is gonna be the last question. So after this, we're done. But if you have any questions, I know we've still got a good wheel, but if you have like a lot of those are kind of throwaway questions as well, I think. We got some pretty good questions today. But if you have any questions at all, like relating to space things, which is usually a pretty good topic because we can ramble about space things a lot, but also just any other science, like maths and stuff, we can figure out. If there's any like, I don't know, like biology things, if there's any like
just
specifically,
in case we get
if there's more like
special guests in.
yeah, if there's any more like genetics questions, that would be very interesting. If you have any genetics questions, post them, because then at some point maybe that'd be cool to get Overlight in for that. Yeah. And then maybe at some point we can get like chemistry questions, and we can get like Sophia in or something. That would be cool as well. Yeah, but yeah, we'll figure it out at some point. Have any cooking questions? Maybe we can get Chef in at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All the cooking questions come from Chef.
This is true.
Yeah,
This
Chef's
is
the
true.
one for their own
But if you have any cooking questions, if you have any questions with like a certain theme and you want to put the theme at the top, that would be very easy for me to like put them in certain categories.
And
make
that's
it
the wheel.
simpler. And yeah, and like that way I can add them to like a special wheel maybe or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think it'd be fun if we can get some for season 2. If we can get some guests in, I think I'd like that. But yeah, anyway, if you want to ask questions, I go to my Discord. There's a science channel, science talk, science questions even, or you can just write your questions in there. It's just for questions, so don't go answering questions in there. Otherwise, you can also just tweet them at me on Twitter. That will work.
Me, right? Everyone going at
me. No, so it's at Redoxed on Twitter. If you want to tweet me with any science questions, that'd be fun. Yeah. Or if you see like a video and you're like, what the fuck is going on here, and you want to like tag me and like see what happens, I don't know, we can try that. Same, like you can also just at Wheat as well, but I'm the one who actually gets the questions together, so I don't know how useful that will be. But yeah, Wheat, tell us about what you're showing off.
a minion. Oh, you mean the other screen? That is from one of the linked articles. That is, what is that? Doesn't say. I suspect that it's an artist's impression of a black hole forming. Because
of a supernova, then, or not?
I think so. I presume so, because there's a bunch of shit flying off of it. Whereas, if it were not, all that would be going into the black hole. It's an interesting theory. But I highly suspect that that is not an actual image of it, because we certainly do not have that much detail of it as in star form. And if we'd seen a black hole that looked like that before, we'd have been a lot less excited than the one that we actually got a picture of a little while ago.
True. This is true. It's almost like two years ago, or like more than a year ago at this point, right? I suppose it's like 2 years ago at this point.
I think it was pre-COVID.
I think so, yeah.
Like I said, a little while ago.
Anyway, everyone should go and follow Wheat as well. I did the command. Go follow Wheat. Wheat also does other streams every now and then.
True.
Do you do other streams? Yeah, because you streamed Boulder Myth the other day.
Yeah.
We need to get back to doing group things on days.
Yeah, I try and find. I'll see. There was something I was going to do Saturday, or rather, do some point. I don't know what it was. Can't remember.
You know what we need to look into now that it's January? We need to see if we can get a Rocket League tournament going. Because I think we can get some people in the Gobs and Grems team.
Yeah.
To be interested in that. Yeah, maybe we can get some people around. I think that would be fun, and then we can do something for that.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun if we can host something like that. We need to think of a way, like, what we're gonna do with it, though. But
How it would work as
yeah,
well.
yeah. We need to
Technically,
figure.
I mean.
We need to figure it out a bit. I can like, I can make a bracket or something if we like.
Oh, I mean, like how to get the proper spectator stuff. To
Oh,
work.
I mean, spectating in Rocket League is actually pretty good. I think, right? I don't know. I've never done it, but I seem to remember that like the spectator UI and stuff is actually very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to look into it. Of
Yeah.
course, of course. But yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that might be coming in like the next month or maybe after that. I don't know, at some point. And I really want to do that. So I've been wanting to do that for like over a year now. At this point, I think I've like we've been talking about it for ages, and we've
Yeah.
never actually managed to get enough people interested. But now we have the Goblins and Gremlins group. That
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in there we can get interested in it. So maybe. Yeah, maybe we can
Yeah.
do that. Science of Rocket League. If you ever have any science questions about games or something, that's also always super interesting and super fun to talk about. Like we spoke about, like in the early episodes, we spoke about Portal and stuff, which is super interesting. They're lost now forever, probably. I don't know. I'll make sure to save this one. I'll save it instantly after I close it, okay? I'll remember. I'll remember.
Probably lost forever. Yeah.
Probably
It was all about momentum of portals and how they break.
Everything.
There was a lot of physics breaking questions in the first few episodes, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's very interesting. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our ramblings and admin
2.
episode of season 2.
Yeah.
Next time I'll see if I can like prepare a way to get the questions down there in a good way that I like.
Fine,
that
I think,
have
like,
all the questions and then like have
like-
this thing. Sorry.
oh yeah, mate. I think looking at it as a topic is good. Like
Maybe.
have
Yeah.
Jeff on because like we go off topic a lot, and by off topic I mean off question a lot, but on topic. So yeah, of course
Oh,
the
the
admin,
admin portion is the most
Yeah.
important part of the stream. Of course it will. Diffusion.
Yeah.
Of course it
Like-
will. I'm gonna highlight on the entire stream because I can't be arsed to actually do work on it. I'm gonna have all of the stream, all of it. Anyway, I had a good time. Hope you also had a good time.
I
Chat.
always have a good time.
Fuck
Oh,
you, Wheat, not you. But also you. Let's see if we can find. Something interesting to do. Someone.
I don't think
interesting
that
to
was
raise.
this.
Oh, well, that's a problem then. There's a lot of people streaming.
Oh, I accidentally clicked on science and technology rather than gobs and grams. Whoops.
Mm.
Oh, there's me.
If only someone added markers. Did you add markers to this stream? Oh my god.
Oh.
I didn't expect you would add markers to this stream. This is not a funny one. It's not a good one. This is not a stream where there's markers. That's very nice of you.
Wow.
I don't know if you did. Maybe you didn't. And that's what you're trying to say. In Gobs and Grams we have Maglet, Digby, and Overlight streaming.
Well, I only know Overlight.
Yes. Kind of same.
Go there.
Overlight has enough viewers. Overlight doesn't need the viewers, okay? Here's the thing.
Okay. That works.
What if we... Here's something interesting. What if we go to Science and Technology and we see who's doing Science and Technology and we find someone
Let's see.
who's doing
Viewers
something
load.
interesting.
Oh, someone's got a stream called Need Viewers Come Watch.
I'm not going to need viewers come watch. Move that over there.
Call in
move that over
talk
here.
show.
That way you can follow along, chat.
Oh yeah, me too.
A weather channel. Any of these interesting? Just chickens chickening? That's not science and technology.
We almost look like the only science stream. The rest are technology. How
I mean,
would
if
we
there's some
call
fun
market
technology
so-
stream, that's also interesting.
Control Vector the robot from Twitch. Sorry.
Oh,
It's just to leave it on and let it go thing. Live seismic monitoring. My goodness.
live B cam.
Live
Oh, new RC car. Look at
God.
this one. It's right next to Need Viewers Come Watch.
Oh, of course.
Oh my god.
Wow.
She probably does,
What's
Andy.
Man's eating pasta.
I didn't even open the stream. I did not even care. Not gonna lie.
Nice. Nice.
Home radio telescope. What is
These all
this?
just seem to be automated. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
this is
what's
just like
this?
a telescope feed of something, I guess.
An
So,
evolutionary
what?
biologist and chat learn more about animals while he edits his wildlife photos. How do you like that one?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. What's this by? It's by someone called Jax
Facts,
Fact,
facts. I just found it as well.
with a master's in evolutionary anthropology, who's been all over the place. Kenya.
Kenya, South Africa, Uganda.
Yes.
Interesting.
Got a paper up as well,
Oh, yeah,
using
look at
claw
that.
marks to study
Is that an
something. I
eland?
need to turn the quality up. Oh no, I
No,
can't
that's
turn
an
the quality
oryx.
up.
Oh yeah, I am right.
It's
Give me a-
unfortunate.
Why
Sorry,
can't I
what's
not-
unfortunate?
I guess I can't
Quality
zoom
options.
in.
Oh.
Peaking at 540p, so I can't quite read the article title. Yeah, claw marks to study
Okay.
behavior or something. I don't know. Is that gruesome?
Is a bit. Is a bit.
Do you want to find
gruesome.
something a bit more chill?
We'll leave it up for now, unless we find something interesting, something better. I think that's a good one, but
Hmm.
bear in mind that it might be a bit.
Yeah. Reparation. Oh, it's French.
Where are you?
I've
Oh, there you are.
sorted,
I found you.
so I'm going in the opposite direction
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
I know. I was just wondering because I found my stream, and then I saw your stream as well.
Yeah, looking wonderfully similar, of course.
I love it. I love how we've
Yeah.
got the same but in different colors. It's so it's like we've got a brand. It's great.
Yeah.
What's this? Take a trip around our world with Joe Slick. Joe Slick Life. Don't know who this person is.
magmas.
Right.
Oh yes.
But they define a linear belt that comes from down by Rainier,
What was that?
up
Oh,
as
Lime
far as-
literally just went live as well.
Mount Pilcher.
Joe Slick.
That's
all
not
Hey,
mountains.
Joe.
science.
So I attribute those to break off of the slab after the accretion of Soletsia.
A
Do
citizen
you,
journalist.
I'll put you on the spot. Do you like any of these correlations?
Okay, I'm
It's
not
a-
interested enough.
Oh. I think Joe
There's a-
Slick's the one on the left, and
I don't know
He's
which one Joe. Yeah, I think he might be
he's asking questions of
to this person. Yeah.
someone who knows a bit about stuff. Nice graphic as well. Interesting.
There's a sad amount of just like not much happening.
Yeah, like I
Stream.
say, we seem to be the only people doing actual science.
Yeah.
Everyone else is either technology or an automated stream, almost.
Do you want to go to this person? Talking with Jack's facts with their
Jack's Fact.
animals. They seem the most interesting
Sure,
person. Let's go rate them. I think that'll be fun.
sure.
Now chat, this is a person that none of us know, so you better be on your best behavior, okay? You better be on your best behavior. Be very friendly to this person, okay? And tell them about all the cool things we do.
Yeah.
Okay, and before this is gonna be like, you can't rate this channel because...
No, I've
F.
already started.
Okay, good. I'll start mine as well.
Fully
Right.
function, presumably.
What should we do?
Yeah.
Science?
That was just a great.
Science?
Now, science? Is that how I see what we're going to shout at them?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Uh,
Science raid? I don't know what to say.
oh, we've got your Wooper, your science Wooper.
True. Is that a... That might be a follower only emote, isn't it? I need to look at my emotes actually, because I probably have the thing.
Oh, you can just copy and paste, can't it? Can I do it in my channel? That's a good test. Yeah, I can do it in my
Oh yeah,
channel.
there you go. If you're sub to me, use that emote. If you're not, you can unlock it with just 100 points, I think. If you want to use that emote, science, and then just go, what do we want to say? Science. I think science raid is fun.
I'm just going to say that. My raid is happening imminently, so...
And
10.
so is mine. So yeah, go follow.
8.
Check us out. I might be back on Friday. I'm not entirely sure.
4,
I don't know when
3,
you'll be back at
2,
some point.
1.
Bye.
0.
Love you. Click mine too late.
Right, now I need to listen.
Me?